to the Dayton Dragons, Mike Vanderwood.
Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to Dayton Dragon Baseball on 1410 ESPN Radio. Mike Vanderwood with you from Veterans Memorial Stadium in Cedar Rapids, Iowa. The Dayton Dragons taking on the Cedar Rapids Kernels, a rare midweek afternoon start for the Miami Valley's team. Cedar Rapids does the Businessman Special at Thursday home games, and so the 1 p.m. start Dayton time, that will wrap up the four-game series. The Dragons trying to win this afternoon to even things up at 2 games apiece and to push the road trip to 5-3 on the good side of the tally for the Dragons. Last night, Cedar Rapids over Dayton by the score of 4-3. Pretty entertaining ball game considering that Cedar Rapids got 3 home runs. It really was not a poorly pitched game from the Dragons' standpoint. Josh Dickerson, 4 innings, 6 hits. He struck out 6, gave up 3 runs, all on homers. A 2-run home run from Matt Brown in the first inning. A solo shot from Blake Balcom of Cedar Rapids in the second. Ryan Fry got one for the Dragons in a 2-run ninth inning that got Dayton back to within 4-3. The Dragons had the bases loaded with 2 down. And Ellen Buckley, who picked up the save, struck out Evan Conley with the bases loaded, and the Dragons rally fell just short as Cedar Rapids took it 4-3. 4 runs, 9 hits for the Kernels, 3 runs, 8 hits for the Dragons. Both teams were errorless in the field. Dayton stranded 8, the Kernels stranded 6. Mike Capozzi somehow got himself out of a few jams early on, improved to 6 wins, no losses on the season. In getting the sense of talking with some Cedar Rapids people here, probably not Posey's best start of the year, but pitched well enough to win the ballgame now 6-0. Alan Buckley with his first save. Dickerson pitched better and maybe didn't deserve to get hung with the L, but he falls to 3-4 with the decision. 2:31 the time of the ball game at 1,671 at the ballpark to see it. As far as the injury standpoint goes from the ball game last night, Rainier Feliz had to leave the ball game with a blister after throwing just 2 innings, and he should be okay for his next start. Just took him out more as a precautionary measure. Feliz could have gotten to about 60 pitches. I think he threw 33, 34, somewhere in that area, so he should be okay. They'll evaluate him again when he has to throw his bullpen or his side day tomorrow once we get to Fort Wayne. When the Dragons wrap this series up following the ball game this afternoon, we'll hop on the bus about a 385, 390-mile trip from Cedar Rapids, Iowa to Fort Wayne, Indiana, and we'll open up the 4-game Memorial Day weekend series with the Wizards starting tomorrow night at 7 o'clock. We'll wrap it up on Monday, and we're back at the ballpark in Dayton on Tuesday night to open things up. Our first look at the Battle Creek Yankees in 2004. We'll take a timeout. We'll come back with more on the pregame show. You're listening to Dayton Dragon Baseball on 1410 ESPN Radio. Hey, Dragons fans, welcome to another year of great fun and good baseball in Dayton. But is this another year you are renting, writing check after check, and getting nothing back in return? Beezer Homes, a proud sponsor of the 2004 Dayton Dragons, has solutions for you. Beezer has 12 communities located throughout the Miami Valley. What do you get with a Beezer home? You get a bigger home, quality construction, name brand appliances, all with a monthly payment that may be less than your current rent payment, and in some cases with no down payment. You heard that right, 0 down. Take a look at the Beezer ad in this Sunday's Real Estate Plus in the Dayton Daily News, and then visit one of Beezer's fine communities and tour a model home. And watch for details on how you can become eligible to win a new Beezer home in the Beezer Dragons Home Run Contest. If you think someday you'll own a beautiful new home, then visit a Beezer community where someday starts today. And if you want to take the super highway, visit us at Beezer.com. Beezer Homes, a proud sponsor of the 2004 Dayton Dragons. Beezer has 12 communities located throughout the Miami Valley. May is Minivan and Truck Month at New Carlisle Chrysler Jeep and Dodge. Hi, I'm Chris Toby. We've got a great selection of Dakotas and Ram pickups with 0% financing or $3,500 rebate. We have new 2004 Dakota SXTs in stock, starting at $12,498 after rebate plus tax. Ram pickups also get an additional $1,000 Chrysler financial rebate and free Sirius satellite radio, bringing the total incentive to an unheard of $5,000. At New Carlisle, we've got a great selection of Dodge Caravans and Chrysler Town & Country with the all-new Stow and Go seating, plus the remaining 2004s have discounts up to $8,000 off sticker and start at just $16,695 plus tax. Bring your best deals to New Carlisle because we will not be undersold on trucks and minivans. Plus,
Plus, at New Carlisle Chrysler, you get Chrysler's 770 warranty and free pickup and delivery for 5-star service. Just 5 miles north of I-70 is where you'll find the best deals on a truck or minivan, and it's only at New Carlisle Chrysler Jeep and Dodge.
1410 ESPN.
At the ballpark, Mike Vanderwood with you on 1410 ESPN Radio. Full slate of games this afternoon in the Midwest League this afternoon and this evening. Quad Cities in Wisconsin already underway. They began at 11 o'clock Central Time, so they've been going now for about 35 minutes or so. Elsewhere, following our ball game, 7 o'clock it's Beloit at Kane County. 7:05 West Michigan is at Lansing. 7:30 Battle Creek at South Bend. 8 o'clock Burlington and Peoria, and also at 8 o'clock Fort Wayne at Clinton. So the interesting thing going to be when we get out of here this afternoon, when we take off, the Dayton Dragons will actually be in Fort Wayne probably about 6 or 7 hours earlier than what the Fort Wayne Lizards will be. So the Dragons, at least for the first game of the series tomorrow night, will be better rested than what Fort Wayne will. They've got a 7 o'clock start Central Time, so 8 o'clock Eastern Time. You figure if you play a 3 or 4 hour ball game, if they get out of there by 11:30, 12 o'clock Fort Wayne time, they're not going to get back much before 7 or 8 o'clock in the morning, whereas the Dragons, we are expected to get into Fort Wayne probably around 11:30 tonight. Wisconsin and Quad City right now are scoreless. That ball game in the top half of inning number 2. Taking a look at the Eastern Division standings, the Dragons 11.5 games behind South Bend. They are in 4th place in the Midwest League's Eastern Division out west. You've got Cedar Rapids tied with Peoria. Both clubs at 26 and 19. They are a couple of games behind the Kane County Cougars. We'll take a timeout. When we come back, we'll hear from our Dragons baseball insider, Mark Hance of the Dayton Daily News. He's up next. You're listening to the pregame show on 1410 ESPN Radio. You're sure to hit a home run with your employees when you select Superior Dental Care for your group dental benefits. Our expert rating offers financial stability year after year, and our committed approach to providing excellent service makes using our plans effortless. Your employees and their families will love our comprehensive coverage and added benefits like discounts on cosmetic dentistry and vision care. Make the superior choice at your next renewal. You're sure to win with Superior Dental Care.
As a proud sponsor of the Dayton Dragons, Anthem Blue Cross and Blue Shield knows what it takes to hit one out of the park. That's why Anthem brings you high-quality group health plans that are flexible and affordable. Plus, Fortune Magazine ranks Anthem among the top 3 most admired healthcare companies in the country. With Anthem, you can feel confident knowing that they work for you. Visit Anthem.com today and choose Anthem.
Anthem Blue Cross and Blue Shield is the trade name of Community Insurance Company, an independent licensee of the Blue Cross and Blue Shield Association.
Okay, next question.
All right.
If you were stuck on a desert island, would you rather take your significant other or your TV set?
Would it have cable?
Yes, it would have cable.
Time Warner Digital Cable? I
Tom,
don't know. It matters, okay? Because if it has Time Warner Digital Cable, I can get the latest movies instantly right on the TV set with movies on demand with eye control.
okay.
Yeah, and to get on the internet, I'll have Roadrunner High Speed Online, right? That is important to me.
Really?
Well, the web pages have to load really fast.
Because you're a very busy man on that island.
That I am. And with Roadrunner, I get speed and an always-on connection. This is a tough one. Okay, I'd say... Okay, if it was satellite, I'd choose you. But Time Warner Digital Cable and Roadrunner High Speed Online...
You would choose Time Warner Digital Cable and Roadrunner.
But you came in a very close second, honey.
Well, that's comforting to
Very close.
For a great deal on the Dayton Dragons Roadrunner package, call 1-866-44-CABLE. Ask for campaign code DD2004. Offer good while supplies last. Some restrictions may apply.
1410 ESPN.
Welcome back to the Dayton Dragons pregame show. Mike Vanderwood, joined by our Dayton Dragon baseball insider, Mark Hance of the Dayton Daily News. I'm sure, Mark, that nobody wants to get stuck with the 12-day road trip, and we've brought it up on the pregame show while we've been gone. But if you really take a look at it, this is not that bad of a deal for the Dragons at the very end of it when you consider that after today's game in Cedar Rapids, the Dragons are done in the state of Iowa for the entire season. That's the plus number one, so you don't have the long trip coming back. And the second thing is, every getaway day, a Sunday game with Burlington, a 3 o'clock Dayton start, a 1 o'clock Dayton start today against Cedar Rapids, and a 3 o'clock start on Monday, Memorial Day against Fort Wayne. So really, all things considered, if you've got to get stuck with a 12-day trip, this is about as good a 12-day trip as you can get.
Well, I think that they ought to put you on a bus and scout out the Eastern League to see if the Dragons want to get into that league, and take a bus trip to Lakewood, New Jersey and back, and let us know, and that'll fill in these missed opportunities that you have in the Midwest League.
Now, why would I want to do that? I've told you several times that as far as the minor leagues go, and that the Midwest League is pretty tame in comparison to a lot of these leagues as far as the travel goes. I'm actually giving the schedule guy props. It's not something I'm throwing out there every day.
Yeah, I know, but see, you haven't traveled enough. I think it's better when you're a little bit grouchy and you have that edge to you.
Hey, keep in mind, Mark, my first job in baseball was in Mobile, Alabama in the Texas-Louisiana League. What's wrong with that picture?
Well,
I was in a state where the league wasn't. I was in a state that wasn't even mentioned in the name of the league. Texas and Louisiana. I was in Alabama, so I've traveled, baby. I've traveled.
I shouldn't tell you about my trip to Notre Dame once when Jerry Moon and I circled Fort Wayne about 3 times, and he berated me the whole time. But that's another story.
Well, can you blame him?
It was his fault. He was supposed to navigate.
Hey, if you're behind the wheel. If you're behind the wheel, it is. You know,
the other guy's not supposed to be sleeping, right?
At the end of the day, when you're driving, you're ultimately responsible for whether you get there or whether you don't. And it's Notre Dame. How do you not know how to get to South Bend?
To follow the redneck fans, I suppose.
Wow. Mark Cass's comments do not necessarily reflect those of mine. So if you are a Notre Dame fan or alumni, you can send your complaints care of him at the Dayton Daily News. And where did we take this strange term? Here I'm ready to talk about the 12-day trip. We're playing well in Cedar Rapids. We're set off to go to Fort Wayne, and the next thing you know, you're doing everything but calling Duke Rockney a sorry son of a gun.
Listen, you got Chris Dickerson back, you got Ben Hines back. I think that this team is ready to make a move. Hopefully, Hippolito Hernandez will be back, and you got some starting pitching that's starting to pick up. So I think that this team is ready to roll now.
So by making a move, you don't mean getting a new beat writer assigned?
No, not yet. I mean, I have to go into the office and see what they're thinking there.
Now, this is, with the exception of Hernandez, who right now is on the verge of coming back. I mean, maybe other than opening day, this is about as healthy as this team has been.
Yeah, I think so. And like I say, the guys, all the guys that were in their first year now have had 40 or 45 games under their belt, and they've all been rested a little bit. And I expect them to really know what's going on now and be able to carry out the rest of the first half and go strong into the second half of the season.
Well, a sign of the Notre Dame bashing is always, Mark. Nice to hear from you. And, I have to say nice things about Notre Dame. You got Ty Willingham, a Michigan State guy at the helm, number one. And number two, Spartans have won 5 out of the last 6 years. Why would I want to goof that up?
Well, they better win this year, and I mean big. Or else Ty may be looking for a job.
Hey, that's fine, man. Send him up to East Lansing. I got no problems with that at all. He's a good coach. But we'll talk about that during our football insider that will run around Labor Day weekend.
Right.
Hey, we'll catch up with you again before one of the games over in Fort Wayne.
Okay, great.
Appreciate the time, Mark. Thanks.
Okay, thanks.
We'll take a time out. We'll come back with more. You're listening to Dragon Baseball on 1410 ESPN Radio.
Are you tired of sitting around the house playing your video games like a little girly man? Well, life is not a video game. Get off of your seat, get moving, and get out to the Extreme Paintball Field located between Dayton and Xenia, just off State Route 35. Information and directions can be found on the internet at www.extremepaintballfield.com. Or look in the yellow pages under the word paintball for complete information.
Which day do you want to be a millionaire? It can happen on a Tuesday, or Wednesday. Something very good. It can happen on a Saturday. With Sarah Unicorn. With Megan Williams every Tuesday and Friday, and Super Lotto Plus every Wednesday and Saturday, you can play the Ohio Lottery. It's jackpot games 4 days a week, every week. You don't have to wait.
Lottery players are subject to Ohio laws and commission regulations. Please play responsibly. Dayton, are you ready for some football? For the first time ever, Dayton will be hosting the Pro Skills Football Recruiting Camp and Combine at Welcome Stadium, June 9th through 11th, from 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. The Pro Skills Football Recruiting Camp and Combine features college coaches and professional players like Centerville's Andy Harmon from the Philadelphia Eagles and Fairmont's Kyle Kramer of the Cleveland Browns. The focus, teaching football players from grades 6 through 12 fundamentals and advanced techniques. You'll learn to improve your combine results and enhance your overall performance. Register today at ProSkills.com. That's PROSKILZ.com, or call 397-5874. Pre-register before June 1st for only $125. ProSkills is brought to you in conjunction with JJHuddle.com and sponsored by Terry Sports Medicine, National City Mortgage, Huffy Sports, Dayton Freight, The Berry Company, and Self Sports Consultants, City Barbecue, Tom Schwab of Stuart Jones Investments, More Java and LaRosa's Pizza. ProSkills donates 25% of the proceeds to local school athletic programs. Go to PROSKILZ.com or call 397-5874 today. 1410 ESPN.
Back at the ballpark, our thanks to Mark Katz of the Dayton Daily News. I think Kathy yesterday was doing some yard work around the house, and I told him he may want to check that lawnmower of his for some kind of a carbon monoxide leak or something. Mark a little slap happy, and that's okay. That's understandable. He, for whatever reason, I guess a long day having to mow the lawn and pull weeds and plant flowers and all that kind of stuff, that'll do that to anybody. So we'll talk with Mark again before our ball game tomorrow night as we open up the 4-game series in Fort Wayne against the Fort Wayne Wizards and wrap the longest road trip of the season up. Series number 2 will conclude this afternoon. The Dragons and the Kernels playing the 4th and final game of this 4-game set. The Dragons trying to even things up, gain the split at 2 games apiece. The Kernels looking to take 3 out of 4. And on the mound this afternoon for the Dragons, left-hander Tyler Pellin. Ty coming off of his best start of the season on Sunday. That was against the Burlington Bees to wrap that 4-game series up. Pellin 5 innings. He struck out 6. He gave up just 1 hit, allowed 1 run. The run was not earned. He hit a batter and picked up his first win in the Midwest League. Pellin now 1 win, 4 losses, and he's got an earned run average of 6.68. He is on for the 11th time, 9th time as the starting pitcher. And in 32 and the 3rd innings of baseball, Pellin has given up 42 hits. He has struck out 32 walks, 16. 30 runs allowed, 24 of those runs are in the Midwest League, batting .302 against him. Tyler Pellin out of Bristol, Vermont. He is 6 feet and 210 pounds. And left-hander gets the start this afternoon against Cedar Rapids. He was originally drafted by the Boston Red Sox, and he was acquired by the Reds when Cincinnati sent Scott Williamson to Boston. Phil Demontre and Tyler Pellin came back in exchange for the big league reliever. On the other side of it, we will see Michel Simard on the hill for the Kernels. Michel Simard out of Quebec City in the province of Quebec from Canada. He is a right-hander, 6'3", 200 pounds. Pretty good numbers on him. 3 wins and 2 losses this season, a 3.33 earned run average. He'll be on for the 10th time, 9th time as a starting pitcher in 46 innings of baseball. Simard has given up 43 hits, 17 runs, all of them earned. He has struck out 49, walked 13. His last time out, a no decision against Kane County. 6 innings of 6-hit baseball. He struck out 7, walked 1, and allowed 1 run. And it'll be a right-hander against a left-hander this afternoon. Michel Simard, who lost his last decision. In his last 4 decisions, 2-2. He's 3-2 overall. A little bit better at home than he is on the road in terms of the earned run average, right at 3. 30 strikeouts and 5 walks when he pitches at Veterans Memorial Stadium here in Cedar Rapids. We'll take a timeout. We'll come back, take a look at some lineups. You're listening to the Dragon pregame show on 1410 ESPN Radio.
rods, muscle cars, classics, even old motorcycles. You've got to see Cars and Parts Magazine's giant swap meeting car show this Friday, Saturday, and Sunday at the Clark County Fairgrounds in Springfield. Great family fun. See 2,000 vendors, over 900 cars for sale, and over 1,000 show cars on 126 acres. Bargains on everything automotive, from rare old parts to racing collectibles. You've got to be there this weekend at the Clark County Fairgrounds in Springfield. Call 937-376-0111 for details.
You gotta see it. You gotta see it. Come on and see it.
In every public library in America, there's a section of do-it-yourself books. Here you'll find how-tos on just about every subject you can imagine. From wiring your own house, to building your own helicopter, to making your own flux. But Allstate knows that there are some things you may not be comfortable doing without some help. That's why every one of Allstate's exclusive agents goes through an extensive education program. They're licensed by the state they practice in, and they don't just learn about auto insurance, but home insurance, life insurance, and many other ways to help protect you and your world. Insurance is a profession, not a hobby. That's Allstate stands. Are you in good hands?
Come visit me, Al Hansman, at 1377 East Stroop Road in Kettering, Ohio.
Home insurance, life insurance, and many other ways to help protect you and your world. Insurance is a profession, not a hobby. That's Allstate stands. Are you in good hands?
1410 ESPN.
At the ballpark. And let's take a look at the starting lineup first for the Dayton Dragons. The Dragons come in with a record of 19-27 overall, and in the Midwest League's Eastern Division, they trail the South Bend Silverhawks by 11 games. They trail second place Lansing by 9. South Bend at 30-16. The Lugnets at 28-18. And the lineup this afternoon for Alonzo Powell looks like this. Leading things off and getting the start in center field, his first start since May 2nd at Lansing will be Chris Dickerson. Luis Bolivar batting second. He is at second base. Hitting third, the first baseman, Joey Votto. Ryan Fry, the designated hitter, will bat fourth. Ben Himes at right field, batting fifth. The left fielder, Kyle Smith, will hit sixth, batting seventh, and getting the start at third base, Jeremiah Pipcorn. Chris Krosky will hit eighth. He is the catcher and batting ninth. The shortstop, Will Hudson. Dickerson in center, Bolivar at second, Votto at first, Fry at the DH, Himes in right, Smith at left, Pipcorn at third, Krosky at second, and Hudson at shortstop. On the hill for the Dragons, 1 win and 4 losses, a 6.68 earned run average. Left-hander Tyler Pellin will be on for the 11th time, 9th time as the starting pitcher. Dragons managed by Alonzo Powell, the pitching coach Larry Pearson, Max Venable, the hitting coach, Randy Brackney, the trainer, and Jeff Mester, the strength and conditioning coach. On the other side of it, the Anaheim Angels, the parent club of the Cedar Rapids Kernels. They just extended their deal for another 2 seasons to keep the affiliation with the Angels. Cedar Rapids comes in with a record of 26-19. And they are in second place in the Midwest League's Western Division, tied with the Peoria Chiefs. Both teams trail Kane County by 2 games. The Cougars at 28-17, the second best record in the Midwest League this season. Taking a look at the starting lineup for Bobby Megalennis's ball club today. Warren Cosby leads things off. He is in center field. Batting second, getting the start at second base is Howie Kendrick. Bobby Wilson, the catcher, will bat third. Hitting fourth and getting the start at third base is Matt Brown. Sean Rodriguez, the shortstop, will bat fifth. The DH, Caleb Mayer, hitting sixth. Blake Belcom batting seventh. He is in right field. First baseman, Matt Abram, will hit eighth, and batting ninth and getting the start in left field is Nick Simpson. Cosby in center, Kendrick at second, Wilson the catcher, Brown at third base, Rodriguez the shortstop, Mayer the designated hitter, Balcom in right field, Abram at first base, and Simpson in left field. On the bump for Cedar Rapids, right-hander Michel Samard. 3 wins and 2 losses on the season. He is on for his 10th appearance, 9th as the starting pitcher, and with the 3-2 mark, a 3.33 earned run average. We'll take a timeout. We'll come back and put the pregame show to bed just a few minutes away from the start of this one between the Dragons and the Cedar Rapids Kernels. Game 4 of the 4-game series coming up. You're listening to Dragon Baseball on 1410 ESPN Radio.
Hello, I'm Ryan McLean, Mayor of the City of Dayton. As a mayor, much of my time is spent fighting for better schools, creating and retaining jobs, and decreasing crime in the Dayton area. With all that work on my plate, I can't waste any time. When I travel, I need an airport that I can get in and out of quickly, and one that keeps the cost of my tickets grounded. That's why when I travel, I always fly out of the Dayton International Airport. At Dayton International Airport, I can be off my plane and back to work at City Hall in an hour. That's what I call serving your constituents.
You too can experience the convenience and low costs associated with flying to the Dayton International Airport. With nearly 100 direct and non-stop flights, you can quickly and easily reach the country's many great destinations from your backyard. The Dayton International Airport can save you time and money.
At the Miami Valley School, Dayton's only independent day school, they believe that preparing students for college and life's journey beyond continues outside the classroom. As part of their commitment to excellence at the Miami Valley Schools, any student who wants to participate on one of 40 interscholastic sports teams is on the team. This no-cut policy begins in the 4th grade and continues through high school. You could say that they believe their no-cut policy helps produce students who are a cut above. Miami Valley School students have traditionally distinguished themselves both in the classroom and on the field of play. They're proud that MVS this year has had more national merit finalists than any other school in the greater Dayton area. But they're also proud that this year their boys soccer team was district champions, and since 1999, 6 MVS students have won Metro Buckeye League Player of the Year awards in sports ranging from basketball and softball to soccer and golf. For more information or to arrange a campus tour, call 937-434-4444 or visit them on the web at www.mdschool.com. That number again is 434-4444.
1410 ESPN.
At the ballpark, just about 4 minutes or so away from the start of the 4th and final game between the Dayton Dragons and the Cedar Rapids Kernels. This is the last time that these two teams will see each other in half number 1. Half number 2, the Kernels come to Dayton in mid-August to play 4 games at Fifth Third Field. Great day for a ball game this afternoon. Skies are a little bit overcast, but we will stay dry. 73 degrees right now. Winds out of the west at 14 miles an hour. And the wind will carry everything out this afternoon towards the right center field area, the right field corner. Veterans Memorial Stadium has got the biggest dimensions, at least in one portion of the stadium, of any team in the Midwest League. 407 feet out to deep left center field. It's 400 to dead center. The power alley in right center, 390. In left center, it is 378. In the right field corner, 325. Down the line and left, it is 315. The wall extends out about 55, I would say 60, maybe 75 feet. At 16 feet, it is angled out towards left center field. The rest of the fence around the ballpark, 8 feet tall, so you can't allow a home run from left center field over to the right field corner. Down the line where you've got the short porch in left, it's just 315, but you've got to hit it over a 16-foot high fence. And we've seen some great pitching in this series, but we've also seen some home run hitting. The Dragons dropped the Monday night ball game, which was suspended, finished up on Tuesday. Cedar Rapids took that one by the score of 2-1. The Dragons came back, won the regularly scheduled Tuesday night ball game by that same 2-1 score. Brock Hill picking up the win for the Dragons in relief. Last night, Cedar Rapids got the advantage at 4-3 to win the third game of the series. The Kernels trying to go for 3 out of 4. The Dayton Dragons trying to even things up at 2 games apiece. Cedar Rapids Kernels taking the field. They're standing for the national anthem here at Veterans Memorial Stadium. We will take our final timeout. We'll come back and we'll have baseball for you. All the action of Game 4. Tyler Pelland and the Dayton Dragons Michelle Samar and the Cedar Rapids Kernels. Baseball next on 1410 ESPN Radio.
What if you could see 5 signs of improved health in just 4 weeks' time? Signs like silky hair, healthy vitality, a toned body with strong, firm muscles. You'd start to purr, wouldn't you? And you'd brush your soft, shiny coat against the ones you love. Well, you would if you were a cat. Feed your cat Imes and begin to see signs of a healthier pet in 4 weeks. Stronger, stonier, healthier. That's something for both of you to purr about. Try Imes. Start those 4 weeks today and get purring. Imes. Good for life.
Your 2004 Dayton Dragons and the dedicated employees at General Motors and Lane Assembly make a fantastic team. Both are committed at delivering to you a great experience, whether you're sitting in the stands or sitting in one of our great trucks. At Marine Assembly, we build an exciting, high-quality lineup of award-winning General Motors products. Check out what we can do for you. The Dayton Dragons, General Motors, and the IUE CWA, we are a winning team.
Without effective waterproofing, your new basement could be a perfect breeding ground for mold and mildew. Just as you take care in choosing your builder and floor plan, take care in selecting a waterproofing system that truly protects you and your family. Whether the plans for your basement are finished or unfinished, Marflex Waterproofing and Basement Products, located in Middletown, offers a complete line of waterproofing systems, including egress window wells. The professionals in the tri-state area that apply Marflex products are always available to offer you the products and services you need. Call Marflex today at 1-800-498-1411. That's 1-800-498-1411. First, you told her you can't dance. She said she didn't care. She was a great teacher and would make you a pro. Then you told her you're a sports junkie. She said she'd learn every game and share all your season tickets with you. Then you asked her to marry you, and she said yes, absolutely yes. Then you took her to see the wedding collection at Pridgeon Jewelers, and for the very first time since you met her, she was speechless. Pridgeon Jewelers at Cross Point Center.
1410 ESPN. 1410 WYNGAM. Dayton Dragons baseball is on the air.
Into the pile. This one may be gone. Dragons are going to lead it deep out to right. Yardworth.
The Miami Valley Golf team is fired up and ready to take on the Midwest Blades. From Mandalay Sports Entertainment and the Dayton Dragons, this is Dayton Dragons baseball.
Front down the line and left, way back and gone.
Follow every play of the Dragons season from the first pitch to the final out and all the exciting baseball action in between.
This one's gone and ball game. Oh, he hit the mile.
Exclusive coverage of Dayton Dragons baseball is brought to you by 1410 ESPN Radio, WYNGAM, Cincinnati Bell, the Dayton Daily News, Dayton Power and Light, Pittsburgh Bank, Heidelberg Distributing and Budweiser, Veteran Medical Center Network, Kroger Food Store, and Boss Auto Network.
How about the Dayton Dragons picking them up in bunches?
Now, let's head out to the stadium and the voice of the Dayton Dragons, Mike Vanderwood.
Good afternoon once again, everybody. Welcome to Dayton Dragon Baseball on 1410 ESPN Radio. Mike Vanderwood with you from Veterans Memorial Stadium in Cedar Rapids, Iowa. Tommy Johnson back in our Dayton Dragon Baseball studios. Dragons this afternoon taking on the Cedar Rapids Kernels, the final game of a 4-game series between these two teams. Right now, Cedar Rapids holding the 2-1 series edge. The Kernels victorious last night 4-3. They won on Monday by the score of 2-1. The Dragons pick up the victory Tuesday by the score of 2-1. And this afternoon, Michelle Samar from Quebec City in Quebec taking on Tyler Helen from Bristol, Vermont. And right across, I believe it's Lake Champlain, and I'm not sure what river it is up there. It might be the St. Lawrence River, but Vermont bordering Quebec, at least they share the river in common, and I'm not sure how close Bristol, Vermont is to where the province of Quebec is located. I know that Vermont, in places, just about 2 miles away from Quebec. We are underway at 1:05. Dayton Dragon time, and a strike on the inside corner to Chris Dickerson. Dickerson getting his first start since that doubleheader ball game on May 2nd in Lansing. And Chris at .342. 1 home run, 10 runs batted in. Dickerson came in last night, flew out to center field. He was 0 for 1 in the ball game, drew a walk in the 9th inning. Leading things off here, the 1-1. Pulled down to the second baseman. Howie Kendrick sidearms over to first base. And Dickerson retired for the first down of the top half of inning number 1. The Dragons at 19-27, 11 games behind. Eastern Division leading South Bend. On the other side of it, you've got Cedar Rapids right now in a very tightly contested Western Division race. The Kernels in second place tied with the Peoria Chiefs. Both teams at 26-19. 2 games behind Kane County. The Cougars at 28-17. They've got the second best record in the Midwest League. Bolivar shoots one out into right field. The Dragons' second baseman will get a single. And all kinds of ugliness by Blake Balcom out there in right field. Bobbled it, kicked it around, and slipped and fell. So credit Bolivar with a base hit. He gets to second base on an E9. And that thing was wrong from the get-go as far as Balcom was concerned. Didn't field it cleanly. Then when he went back to go get it, slipped and fell, threw it as he was falling down. Now the Dragons with a runner in scoring position as Joey Votto stands in. With a runner at second base and one gone. Bolivar started, stopped. I think Bolivar was on the move as far as a straight steal. And Luis, pretty heads-up play because he got about halfway down, had lost his step, slammed on the brakes, and came back. He would have been thrown out by a significant margin. And the 1-0 coming home to Votto. Outside corner, count evens with a ball and a strike. Umpires this afternoon, you've got Jesse Redwine on the plate, Nick Monaco out on the bases. A ball and a strike to Joey Votto. Dragon first baseman batting at .312. 5 home runs and 28 runs batted in. Votto in the ball game last night, a couple of hits and 3 trips. Was 2 out of 3. Also drew a walk. 2 balls and a strike here. Michelle Samar out of Quebec City. 3 wins and 2 losses coming in with a 3.33 earned run average. The left-hander Votto awaits. Pitch inside corner for a strike, and the count now 2-2. In 46 innings of baseball, in his previous 9 appearances, 8 as a starting pitcher. Samar has given up 43 hits. He has struck out 49, walked 13. He's got Luis Bolivar at second base here with 1 down and a 2-2 to Votto. Over but low, and the count's run full 3-2. As I talked about the Kernels side with Peoria, both at 26-19, 2 games behind Kane County. Just a half game ahead of Clinton and a game and a half ahead of Beloit. So not a whole lot of real estate separating first and fourth place in the Midwest League's Western Division. Actually make that first and fifth. Just 3.5 games separating first and fifth place, and fifth and second separated by just a game and a half. So you've got to really hold serve if you're in the Western Division. As the playoff push, now that we're approaching the month of June, really underway. 3 balls and 2 strikes to Joey Votto. Samar out of the stretch. The right-hander pitch missed inside. That's ball 4. And Joey Votto draws the free pass for the Dragon first baseman. That is the 32nd walk that he has picked up this season. 66 in his Dragons career, which was about a half season last year. About this time last year, Votto and Miguel Perez went to Billings. Both put up some pretty productive seasons there, and are back here for what you would guess would be a full year. Ryan Fry on the first pitch, pop it up into shallow center. Got underneath the curveball. Quan Cosby out there makes the catch. Second out of the inning, it'll leave things up to Ben Heim. Defensively for the Kernels this afternoon, you've got Matt Brown at third base, Sean Rodriguez at shortstop, Howie Kendrick at second, Matt Abram at first base, Bobby Wilson behind the plate. The outfielders left to right, Nick Simpson, Quan Cosby, and Blake Balcom. Wind blowing out to right center field this afternoon. West wind at 14 miles an hour, 73 degrees. A little bit overcast, but a nice day for a ball game. Ben Himes will stand in. Himes had a pinch hit RBI single last night to get the Dragons within 1 at 4-3. Dayton was getting no closer. They had the bases loaded, and Alan Buckley came on to get the save. After Micah Posey gave up 1 run in just 6 2/3, it took 3 pitchers for Cedar Rapids to go the final 2 innings. Did not get good support from the bullpen. Strike on the outside corner to Himes. Count evens at 1-1. In fact, the guy that threw the best, Aaron Pullen, was taken out after an inning and a third of scoreless relief for Wayne Hedden, who came in and just threw gas on the fire. Ball and a strike here to the left-hander Himes. Ben on the year at 276, 3 home runs and 10 RBI. Michelle Samar, the right-hander, stepped back and bluffed Luis Bolivar back to second. Bolivar with a single, which is second base on an error by the right fielder. Pitch coming home to Hines. Opposite way down the line and left. That'll get back into the seat. And the count now a ball and 2 strikes on the Dragon right fielder, Ben Hines. Bolivar at second. Joey Votto, who drew a walk, on at first base. 2 down. The top half of the first inning. We are just underway from Veterans Memorial Stadium. Final game of the 4-game series between the Dragons and the Cedar Rapids Kernels. Ball and 2 strikes. The throw back to second base. Bolivar back in standing up. Sean Rodriguez, the shortstop, slid in behind Bolivar. Luis back in plenty of time. Rodriguez still in between Bolivar and the bag at second. Now he'll drift back to position. And the 1-2 coming home to Hines. Out in front of a changeup, swing and a miss. And the Dragons head down to the top half of the first inning. No runs to hit for the Dragons. They strand 2 runners. We have played 1/2 inning of baseball. Dayton down. Cedar Rapids Kernels coming to the plate. You're listening to Dragon Baseball on 1410 ESPN Radio.
DP&L, your energy partner for 90 years, knows you might have questions about the Ohio Electric Choice Program. If so, call us at 1-800-929-8646 for a free brochure. You've always relied on DP&L for energy information. Now we can help you learn about electric choice.
You add, we subtract. Let's talk about wireless phone plans and what you're really getting for what you're paying. Because with Cincinnati Bell, you get truly unlimited wireless minutes to call anyone, anytime, anywhere in the U.S. for one flat monthly rate. Now that's something you can't get with Verizon and Singular. Plus, when you get our local home phone service, you can add our unlimited wireless plan for only $50 a month, or choose from one of our other great wireless plans. Either way, when you go with Cincinnati Bell Wireless, you get your wireless phone and activation free, but never have to deal with contracts or multiple bills. So go ahead, add unlimited talk and subtract unlimited cost. Add more conversation and subtract restoration. It's the one wireless plan that really works here in Dayton. So call, click, or come see us today. Cincinnati Bell. You add, we subtract. Just call 888-PIN-BELL. That's 888-PINBELL. Some restrictions apply from Social Media.
1410 ESPN.
Dayton Dragons with a couple of runners stranded in the top half of inning number 1. Luis Bolivar picked up a single. Joey Votto, who drew a walk, both left on base. And Cedar Rapids coming up against left-hander Tyler Pellin. Juan Cosby, Howie Kendrick, Bobby Wilson, the scheduled hitters. Bottom half of inning number 1 against Tyler Pellin. Pellin down for the 11th time, 9th time as a starting pitcher. Tyler on the season, 1 win, 4 losses, a 6.68 earned run average, and 32 in the third inning. Pellin has given up 42 hits. He has struck out 32, has walked 16. And funny enough, Tyler Pellin all of a sudden looks a heck of a lot like number 16, Dirk Urson. And it will be Urson, the right-hander. Well, I was expecting a fastball, and they changed me up and threw me the curve. So it's Drew Urson on the hill. I apologize for that. As the 0-1, that must have been a last-second change. This one chopped over the head of the pitcher, off the glove of Hudson. And we'll wait and see if that is a base hit or an error. Juan Cosby, either way, that'll be an E6. Cosby on his first base. And when Urson came up and when all of the Dragons pitchers have come up from extended spring training, normally they are not stretched out enough to be on a pitch count that is 75, which is what the normal pitch count is, and that has been changed now to a base hit. So not an E6, but a base hit. Cosby at first base, and the pitch to Howie Kendrick. And the last time, or the last word that I had gotten from Alonzo Powell was that Pellin was going to start, and Urson would be backing him up. But Urson's pitch count, I guess, enough to where he is now throwing 75. So the second appearance, first start for Damian Urson. 3 innings of baseball, Urson does have a save, got the save, and piggybacking with Tyler Pellet in that Burlington game on Sunday. 3 innings. Urson is not allowed a run. He has now given up 1 hit with the infield single. He has struck out 1. He has walked 1. A right-hander works out of the stretch with Pipcorn creeping at third base. Fastball that missed outside. And the count now 2 balls and a strike on Howie Kendrick. Howie Kendrick, a right-hander. Kendrick on the season, batting at .342, 3 home runs and 18 RBI. Runner at first base is Quan Cosby. He has been thrown out twice trying to steal. He's been successful 9 times out of 11. One of the times he was caught, Dragon catcher Miguel Perez threw him out by a pretty significant margin. That one shot down the first base line and foul. Luis Bolivar will track it down in short right center. He'll flip it into seat, and we'll try it again here. 2 balls and 2 strikes to Howie Kendrick. So Damian Urson on the hill. Now Tyler Pellet and Urson. 1-1. Pitch coming home. Swing and a miss. Krosky throw down to second. Not in time. Quan Cosby's got himself a stolen base. Swing and a miss, and Howie Kendrick is down on strikes. First out of the inning. Cosby up to second base. He is now in scoring position for catcher Bobby Wilson. We have seen Wilson as a catcher in this series. We have also seen Wilson at third base. He is at third base again this afternoon. Second strikeout of the season for Ursa. This one gets out into right center field. Ben Heim is ranging back. He'll reach up, make the catch. Cosby will tag and go from second base to third. Wilson is retired. That is the second out of the inning. Well-struck ball out to right center. Ben Heim's able to track it down and 2 down. Defensively for the Dragons, Jeremiah Pipcorn is at third base. Will Hudson the shortstop. Luis Bolivar at second base. Joey Votto at first. Behind the plate this afternoon for the Dragons is Chris Koski. And in the outfield, Kyle Smith in left, Chris Dickerson in center field, and Ben Heim just tracked down the Wilson shot out and right. The 2 gone. Matt Brown, the hitter. Brown had a 2-run home run in the ball game last night. Matt Brown at .257 with 10 home runs and 38 runs batted in. Tops in both of the power categories for Cedar Rapids. Tied with Ryan Fry for third in the Midwest League in home runs. He's also up there in RBI in the top 5. Took a strike on the outside corner. Good slider from Damian Urson. 2 balls and a strike. Third Urson set to go. Fastball just off the outside corner. Count evens at 1-1. Bottom half of the first inning. No runs on a hit for the Dragons. No runs on a hit with an error for the Cedar Rapids Kernels. Ball and a strike here is the right-hander Urson. Checks the signs with Chris Koski. And the 1-1 coming home. Guy down into center field. Should be playable for Dickerson. Ben Himes there as well. Who will it be? It will be Ben Himes, the right fielder. Himes makes the catch. Matt Brown retired. And Cedar Rapids done in the first inning. No runs, a hit, no errors. They strand the leadoff single, Quan Cosby at third base. We've played an inning. We're scoreless on 1410 ESPN Radio.
Working hard. Here in home improvement is hard work. So make sure you have the right tool for the job. With a Fifth Third Equity Plus Bond, you'll get a 1.99% monthly APR that starts the prime rate after 3 months. Use it and spice up your state. Working hard is the only thing you'll ever need. Weekly variance index with the prime rate on the last 30 days a month and walk you for a tax in the APR on Odyssey contract with energy. Same thing you're doing with other class. $55 annual fee rate for 1 year.
Oh, Frank, this election for president of Beers is getting ugly.
Tell me about it.
They got an out-of-work comedian running against a horse.
I know, it's a tough decision.
Tough?
Yeah, I like horses, and I like out-of-work comedians. I'm back and forth. You know, what kind of horse is it?
Frank, it's Budweiser. It's a Clydesdale.
Oh, that's good.
It's going to be a landslide. The Clydesdale is unbeatable.
Why's that?
Why? He looks more presidential than a comedian.
Well, that's true.
I mean, he's got that handsome look, the jawbone, and cut, he's buff. He's got those shoes with the ankle warmers.
Yeah, he's got really nice ears,
Yeah,
too.
nice ears, and he smells better.
Oh, yeah.
Did you see that debate?
Yeah, I didn't understand it.
The horse doesn't say a word, and he comes off smarter than the comedian.
Sometimes it's knowing what not to say.
I mean, who would you rather have for president? An irritating comedian
Right.
or a majestic Clydesdale who is symbolic of warm holiday fun?
I'll take the horse.
Hello, in a choice between a horse and a guy who's only part of a horse?
Right.
Give me the horse any day.
Anheuser-Busch, St. Louis, Missouri. 1410 ESPN.
Top half of inning number 2. Each team with a base hit in their half of the first inning. The Kernels with the game's only miscue. We are scoreless. Kyle Smith to lead things off for the Dayton Ball Club. Kyle Smith, Jeremiah Pipcorn, and Chris Kofsky. A ball and a strike on Kyle Smith. Fastball that caught the outside corner. After a breaking ball misses away to the right-hander. Kyle Smith on the season. Batting at 192, 6 home runs and 17 RBI. Fastball again on the outside. And the count now 1 ball, 2 strikes on the Dragon left fielder. Top half of the second inning, no score. Smith fouls one back out of play first base side. And the count stays at a ball and 2 strikes. Actually, some afternoon ball games going on in the Midwest League, or actually one afternoon game going on besides ours here. A lot of games going on in the Major League. That one fouled back off the screen. Count stays at a ball and 2 strikes. Kyle Smith trying to hang in there against the right-hander. Michel Samar. Ball and 2 strikes, pitch coming home. Outside corner, got him with the fastball. Smith down on strikes. I don't think Kyle liked the call. Can't blame him. That one did look a little bit wide. But again, that's one of the things that the Dragons collectively have not done a great job of as a team, and that is protecting with 2 strikes. This is a team that has now struck out a Midwest League high 485 times. That'll bring up the third baseman, Jeremiah Pipcorn. Shows bunt, takes the curveball in tight, and the count of ball and no strikes. Pipcorn got his first professional hit last night, an infield single. He was 1 out of 4. Big hit, 6'4", 200 pounds. The 1-0 pitch coming home. Strike at the knees on the outside corner. And the count evens up at 1-1. Jeremiah from Sauk Rapids, Minnesota. The 1-1. Hot shot, clean single in between shortstop and third base. There's his second hit as a pro. First one, an infield single. That one catches the outfield grass, rips through the left side in between Brown at third and Rodriguez at shortstop. That's the second hit of the afternoon for the Dragons. A solid base hit out in left field. Going to bring up the Dragon catcher, Chris Kropke. Kropke, a couple of home runs in a series against Burlington. Had a great game on Sunday as he drove home all 4 Dragons runs as Dayton took the 4-1 victory on Getaway Day before we came up here to Cedar Rapids. After the ball game this afternoon, we'll head east. About 7.5 hours, 380 miles down Interstate 80. And we'll eventually run into Fort Wayne. We'll start a 4-game series with the Wizards tomorrow night. Calvin Medlock, Rock Hill, Rainier Feliz, and Tyler Pellin will be the 4 pitchers for the Dragons on the weekend set, which ramps up on Memorial Day on Monday. The 2-0 coming home to Kropke. It's outside now, 3 balls, no strikes. Bobby Wilson tried to frame that one. And the fastball missed away to Kropke, the left-hander. Chris on the season batting at an even 300. 3 hits on the year, 2 of them home runs. The 3-0 coming home. Outside corner for a strike. Samar gets the courtesy call there. Jeremiah Pipcorn with a 1-out single. He is out at first base, being held on there by Matt Abram. 3 balls and a strike here. Runners on the move. 3-1 pitch. That one missed outside. That's ball 4. Makes no difference. That's not a stolen base. That is a walk to Chris Kropke. I think Pipcorn would have been out at second base, but that's academic as that's the second free pass issued by Michel Samar. Well, the Dragons' second inning starting out very much like their first inning did. Dickerson in the first inning made the first out. Bolivar single. Joey Votto drew a walk. Kyle Smith in the second makes the first out, leading things off. A single by Pipcorn and a walk to Krosky. And now the shortstop, Will Humpstead, a switch hitter. Will at 190, no home runs and 8 RBI. First and second with one down, and the pitch to Humpstead missed inside, and the count of ball and no strikes. Well, I'm not sure, and probably not so much before the ball game, maybe afterwards. Ball and no strikes, and the pitch to Humpstead in there for a strike, and the count evens at 1-1. Not often that you run into teams playing each other with Canadians on the roster. Not to say Canadians aren't good baseball players. Joey Votto will have himself a pretty decent season. And I'll certainly take Larry Walker from the Colorado Rockies on my team anytime he wants to play. And you can make the same case for Justin Morneau in the Midwest League Home Run Derby at the All-Star Game in Dayton back in 2001. On the inside corner for a strike, and the count now 1-2. Votto, the Dragon first baseman from Ontario. The pitcher, Michel Samar from Quebec. And I know that folks from Quebec generally has the 1-ball, 2-strike pitch coming home. Slow roller to the second baseman. Howie Kendrick goes that on to first base, second out of the inning. Hudson advancing the runners 90 feet. Pitcorns to third, Krosky to second. And they're there for Chris Dickerson. Quebec City, a very, very beautiful town. And how you get somebody from Quebec City, used to be home of the Quebec Nordiques, back before they moved to Colorado. And I can't imagine that you grow up in Quebec without being a huge Montreal Canadiens fan. It still kind of surprises me that Joey Votto, not a big hockey guy. And not that there's anything wrong with that, but being from Toronto with the Maple Leafs, that to me seems kind of strange. And so I would imagine Samar, also a big hockey guy. And how you end up not wanting to grow up to be Guy Lafleur and play for the Montreal Canadiens when you're from that part of the country. But I'm sure an interesting story. So I wonder if those two will get a chance to chat afterward. You know, not too many times that you see guys from, there's a ton of players in this league from the Dominican Republic and from Puerto Rico and some of the Central American countries, but you don't see a whole lot of guys from Canada. The 1-1. Inside corner to Dickerson for a strike, and the count now 1-2 to Chris. Dickerson 0 for 1. He is grounded out to the second baseman. Bats here with Pipcorn at third, Krosky at second. 2 down. Top half of the second inning. No runs, 2 hits for the Dragons. No runs with a hit for Cedar Rapids. Top half of the second inning of the fourth and final game between these two clubs. The pitch coming home. Short hop, nice stop by Bobby Wilson. And evens things up, 2 balls, 2 strikes. Kyle Smith struck out looking to start the inning. Jeremiah Pipcorn a single to left. Chris Krosky drew a walk. They both advanced 90 feet on Will Humpson's ground out to the second baseman, Howie Kendrick. Pipcorn at third. Krosky at second. 2 balls, 2 strikes to Chris Dickerson. Dragon center fielder batting with 2 down, 2 runners on in the top half of inning number 2. Samar's pitch, another one pulled foul, wide of the bag at first. Dickerson stays alive. Chris with a home run, 10 runs batted in. And the clubhouse manager, Rhodey, out there getting the baseball down the line. Rhodey finally made an appearance. There were a couple that were down there earlier that I thought we'd see him out. And every time that he pops out on the field, they play the Roadrunner song. He'll check it out and put it in the batting practice collection. They'll probably be knocking that thing around tomorrow during BP. Dickerson swinging bunt, going to be a tough play. Down the line at first, and not in time. Infield single for Chris Dickerson. Dragons on top, 1-0. Base hit and an RBI for Chris. A swinging bunt on the third base side. And Michel Samar maybe was better off going home on that play to trying to get Jeremiah Pipcorn, who was even with him as he fielded the baseball and sets the bar through to first base. Dickerson just does leg it out, and that's an RBI bunt single. Actually, a swinging bunt. The Dragons with the advantage at 1-0. Pipcorn scores his first professional run. Dickerson with the 11th run batted in on his 2004 season. Krosky up to third. Dragons now on the corners for Luis Bolivar. Singled his first time up. Throw back over to first. Back in standing up is Dickerson. Chris on the season has stolen 6 bases. He's been caught 4 times. Bolivar 1 for 1. Singled back in the first inning. Has runners on the corners here with 2 down. The pitch coming home. Sweeping curveball. Luis swings through it. And the count 0-1 on the Dragons' second baseman. 1-0 Dragons to the top half of inning number 2. An RBI infield single by Chris Dickerson. Scored Jeremiah Pipcorn, who was at third in Little League play. And Dickerson, who was starting to break, took a couple of steps off. But able to scoot back to first without a throw. Top of the second, Luis Bolivar trying to add to the 1-0 Dragons' advantage. Dickerson on the move. Pitch coming home. Throw down to second base. Pardon me, and they got him. Caught stealing goes 2-6. Dickerson thrown out for the 5th time this season. 2-6 on the caught stealing, and that is how the second inning will come to a close. The Dragons pick up a run on 2 hits. No errors. 1 man stranded. We played an inning and a half. Dayton on top, 1-0 over Cedar Rapids. You're listening to Dragon Baseball on 1410 ESPN Radio.
First, they brought you no dough, a revolutionary way to eat pizza without the crust. Then, with quiet conviction and brilliant gusto, they discovered a way to enjoy Donato's oven-baked subs without the carbs. Introducing the new Donato's Tortilla Sub. All your favorite ingredients on a low-carb tortilla and warmed in the oven. In any great sub flavor, it's mouth-watering and it's melted.
Garage doors and electric garage door openers. We must be talking about Dayton Door Sales. Dayton Door Sales has been installing and servicing garage doors and openers for over 42 years. It's where you find the leading brand in garage doors, the Overhead Door brand. Look for that red ribbon in the yellow pages, and you know you have the original and the best. Dayton Door Sales and Overhead Door. But their expertise doesn't stop there. Dayton Door Sales installs entry doors, patio doors, storm doors, and replacement windows as well. Yes, Dayton Door Sales has quietly become a leader in vinyl replacement windows. The same philosophies apply that have made them true leaders in the garage door business. It's about quality. It's about experience. It's about professionalism and integrity. Call or visit Dayton Door Sales today or one of its affiliates. Overhead Door Company of Springfield, Overhead Door Company of Troy Piqua, or Overhead Door Company of Middletown Springboro. Remember, look for that red ribbon in the yellow pages, and you know you have the original and the best. Dayton Door Sales and Overhead Door.
You need to buy or sell your home, but where do you start?
Sorry to interrupt, but the place to start is LendingTree.com. You can search home listings, have real estate agents compete for your business, and bankers compete for your mortgage. You can even get up to a $2,000 gift card to the Home Depot when you close with an agent certified by LendingTree. Call 1-800-555-TREE. That's 1-800-555-TREE, or visit LendingTree.com. Equal housing opportunity. Some restrictions may apply. See website for details and licensing. LendingTree Inc. is not affiliated with the Home Depot.
1410 ESPN.
The second inning, Dragons with the advantage at 1-0. An RBI single on the infield for Chris Dickerson. Scored Jeremiah Pipcorn this inning. For the Kernels, Sean Rodriguez, Caleb Mayer, Blake Balcom. Bottom half of the second inning, 1 run, 3 hits for the Dragons. No runs on a hit with an error for Cedar Rapids. Ball and a strike as that one missed upstairs. 92-mile-an-hour fastball from Damian Dirt Urson. Sean Rodriguez fouled the first pitch down the line. Ball and a strike to the right-handed hitting shortstop. Urson set, fastball. All the way back to the screen, now 2-1. Dickerson with a strikeout in the first inning, also allowed a base hit. Fastball misses outside there. Now 3 balls and a strike to Sean Rodriguez, the right-hander with the advantage. Very deep in the right side of the batter's box. Has that back chalk line almost destroyed as the 3-1 coming home. This upstairs, the leadoff walk. Second consecutive inning that Urson has let the leadoff man reach. Single in the first by Quan Cosby. Sean Rodriguez, the leadoff walk here. Rodriguez has stolen 10 bases in 11 attempts, and the Kernels really able to put a lot of pressure on teams in the Midwest League this season with their running game. You've got Cosby with 10 stolen bases, Kendrick with 9, Rodriguez also with 10. Team that leads the Midwest League in home runs. Chopped in the second baseman Boulevard, had it, dropped it. Everybody saying E4. Caleb Mayer will reach first base on the E4. Boulevard had it in his mitt and dropped it as he tried to apply the tag to Sean Rodriguez running by. By the time that he picked it up, Caleb Mayer, who also runs relatively well, was able to leg it out down at first base. He is safe on the air. Second error of the ball game. One each now for Cedar Rapids and the Dragons. And Blake Balcom will battle with runners at first and second, nobody down. Bottom half of inning number 2. Dragons with a run in the top half of the first inning, a 1-0 advantage. Strike on the outside corner. And the count 0-1. Dayton actually picks up the run in the top half of the second. Jeremiah Pipcorn singled. Chris Krofke drew a walk. They both advanced 90 feet on a Will Hudson ground out. Chris Dickerson, a swinging bunt up the third base line, able to beat it out. Pipcorn scored, and it's a 1-0 advantage for the Dragons. Cedar Rapids threatening here. 0-1 pitch, good curveball, swing and a miss by Belcom. And the count now 0-2. Blake Belcom at 269 on the year. 3 home runs and 15 RBIs. 7 doubles. The right-handed hitting right fielder. Good speed for him as well. 0-2. Urson would love a strikeout here in the 0-2. Down in the dirt, nice stop by Chris Krofke. Slider was low and away. Krofke had to slide through the one side of the batter's box to make sure that it stayed in front of him. It did, and the count now a ball and 2 strikes. Kernels leading the Midwest League in home runs. They added to the total with 3 last night off the Dragons pitching. A 1-2 coming home. Ground ball, tailing. Boulevard has it go off his glove out into shallow right center. They're going to hold the runner at third base. The throw back in. Not in time, and now its base is loaded with nobody down. Rodriguez at third. Mayer at second. And Belcom at first base. Walk, error, and base hit, and all of a sudden, Damian Urson in a heap of trouble. Bottom half of the second inning. Either one of those elements to get a runner on base, not bad in itself. You can certainly live with a walk. You can live with an error, but all of a sudden you put both of those together with a base hit. And now you've got the bases loaded with nobody down for Matt Abram. Right-hander at 207 with 3 home runs and 15 RBIs. The pitch coming home to Abram. Outside corner for a strike and the count 0-1. Boy, the great thing here, Dragons would love either something right at Pipcorn at third base, a comebacker to Urson on the hill, strikeout or a pop-up. Anything on the infield. The 0-1 coming home. Shot foul on the first base side. And the count now 0-2. 1-0 Dragons, bottom half of the second inning. Dayton out hitting Cedar Rapids 3-2, but the Kernels with the bases chucked. It's Rodriguez at third, Mayer at second, Belcom at first base, nobody down. Damian Urson trying to get himself out of a heck of a mess. A walk, an error, and a single has loaded him up for Cedar Rapids here in the bottom half of the second. The 0-2. Counter to third. Pipcorn coming home out there. And that's 1 down in the inning. Nice job by Krofke. Abrams safe on the fielder's choice. 5-2. Rodriguez is forced at home. That's the first out of the inning. So 1 down. Mayer to third, Belkin to second, Abrams safe on at first. Now you've got the left-hander Nick Tipton coming up. Tipton, a guy that does have decent speed, doesn't have a whole lot of pop in the bat, but you're going to have a tougher time doubling him up than what you would have with Matt Abrams. And that one chopped it off. That Pipcorn did not have the opportunity to step at third and then throw home. Got the runner out at the plate. And Tipton stands in with one down, bases loaded. This is going to be a fair ball. Cedar Rapids will lead 3-0. That will score Mayer. That will score Balcom. Rounding third, heading home. Nope, they're going to slow down the runner. Abram at third base, and that's a 2 RBI double for Nick Tipton. Damian Erskine, who's got a 94-mile-an-hour fastball, and for whatever reason decided to start off Nick Tipton with a curveball. He hung it, and Tipton ripped it down in the corner for his third double of the season, RBI number 8 and number 9. Interesting pitch selection there. I think you got to start the guy off on the first pitch with what is your best offering. So Abrams is third, Tipton at second base. Now it's second and third, still just one down. And a 2-1 Cedar Rapids advantage again. First pitch curveball, floats high and wide. And the count to Quan Cosby, a ball and no strike. Cosby 1 for 1, an infield single his first time up. Switch hitter entered play this afternoon, batting at .238. 2 home runs and 8 runs batted in. Back up the middle, that'll get another run home. Boulevard, sidearms to first base. That scores Matt Abram. That is now a 3-1 ball game. Quan Cosby with RBI number 9. Cosby out 4-3 on the ground ball. Second out of the inning. On the play, Tipton advancing to third base, and that'll bring up Howie Kendrick. Got to be careful with this guy. Kendrick, a .342 hitter. 3 home runs and 18 runs batted in. Pitch to Hendrick. Weak wave at a slider, and the count evens up at a ball and a strike. 2 RBI double for Nick Timpson, an RBI ground down for Quan Cosby. You've got Timpson at third base with 2 down, bottom half of inning number 2. It's a 3-1. Cedar Rapids Kernels advantage. And the 1-1 coming home. Johnson the hole at shortstop. Joe Humpson, no chance to get Timpson. Infield single, now a 4-1 game. Base hit and an RBI for Howie Kendrick. Nick Tipton scores. Kendrick now at first base, and that is a 4-1 Cedar Rapids advantage. Bobby Wilson will stand in with a runner at first base and 2 down. Kendrick is 19th RBI of the season. Kernels out in front by 3. It's now a 4-1 game. Wilson flew out to deep right field his first time up. He's 0 for 1. Urson has started nearly every Cedar Rapids hitter off with a breaking ball. Swing and a miss that time with the count 0-1. Kendrick has stolen 9 in 11 attempts. A lot of speed on the Cedar Rapids ball club. 0-1 pitch. Base hit out into right field. Urson gives up another one. Kendrick's going to go from first to third, and the throw not in time. Larry Pearson will now come out and have a chat with Damian Erskine. 4 hits in the inning given up by the Dragons right-hander. Howie Kendrick goes from first base to third base on the Bobby Wilson base hit. And with runners on the corners, it'll bring up the ninth hitter in the inning, and Matt Brown. This inning started with Sean Rodriguez picking up a walk. Rodriguez went to second base on the air by Luis Bolivar. Off the ball hit by Caleb Mayer. Blake Malcolm with a single, loaded the bases up. Matt Abram bounced into a fielder's choice. Rodriguez was forced at home. It maintained the 1-0 Dragons advantage. Tipton drilled a hanging curveball down to the right field corner for a 2 RBI double. Gave Cedar Rapids a 2-1 advantage. Quan Cosby with a ground out to the second baseman Bolivar. That scored Matt Abram from third, made it 3-1. Howie Kendrick with an RBI single scored Tipton from third, made it 4-1. Wilson with a base hit. Got Kendrick up to third base. Now with runners on the corners. This one deep out into left field, but playable. Kyle Smith camps underneath. He'll come in, makes the catch. Matt Brown retired, and that will take care of Cedar Rapids in a third inning. The Kernels come up with 4 runs. On 4 hits, a Dayton Dragons error. They strand 2. We have played 2 innings of baseball. Kernels with the advantage at 4-1. You're listening to Dragon Baseball on 1410 ESPN Radio.
This Memorial Day, remember those who have sacrificed so much to bring peace, freedom, and democracy to the world. Shake the hand of a veteran. Display your flag with pride. Take a moment to remember those who can't be with us today. And join Kroger in celebrating America's heroes.
You'll find everything you need to make the holiday weekend a memorable one at Kroger. Right now, with your Kroger Plus card, family pack of Tyson Thin and Fancy, tenders, or skinless boneless chicken breast, or buy one, get one free. USDA select boneless ribeye, strip, or T-bone steaks of $5.99 a pound. The new crop of naturally sweet California cherries is in, and you're priced right at just $1.99 a pound. And all 24 packs of Pepsi are $4.88. Do your Memorial Day cookout the right way with Kroger. Right store, right price.
Looking for a job? Here's your best chance to meet recruiters face-to-face. The Dayton Daily News Job Market General and Security Clearance Hiring Event from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. Tuesday, May 18th at the Holiday Inn Miami. 2 pavilions, free admission, resume database available. If it's time to make a career move, then make it happen at the Dayton Daily News Job Market Hiring Event Tuesday, May 18th at the Holiday Inn Miami. Don't miss it. 1410 ESPN.
Back at the yard, Cedar Rapids comes up with 4 in their half of the second inning. They've got the 4-1 advantage over the Dragons. 4 runs, 5 hits, and an error. For the Kernels, for the Dragons, 1 run, 3 hits, and 1 error. Out of the 4 runs that Damian Urson gave up, 2 of those runs should go as earned, 2 should be unearned. We'll see if the official score agrees with the math that I came up with, a ball and a strike. I could see where it could potentially be 3 out of the 4 is earned. There's at least 1 unearned run. The run Caleb Mayer scores, got to be an unearned run since he reached on an error. 2 balls and a strike to the leadoff man, Luis Bolivar. Bolivar was at the plate when Chris Dickerson was thrown out trying to steal. Luis now 2 out of 2. Base hit down into right center field. That's the 4th hit allowed by Michelle Samar. And Joey Votto will be the hitter. I get the feeling in watching both of these guys throw, and I'm not sure what Tyler Pellin will be like when he comes out this afternoon, but you get the feeling this is not going to be that is not something I figured. Good news for Damian Urson. Out of the 4 runs that Urson gives up, 3 are unearned, only 1 earned run. And I'm not sure how they got to that number. I had gotten Caleb Mayer reaching on the error, so his run unearned. Sean Rodriguez was forced at home for the first out of the inning, which could have been the second out. I'm not even sure, but we'll take his word for it. He's the guy that's getting paid to be the official scorer. So 4 runs, only 1 of those is earned. Ball at a strike here to Joey Votto. Boulevard draws a throw over at first base. Ball at a strike here, top half of inning number 3. It's a 4-1 ball game. Cedar Rapids on top of the pitch to Votto. Skies it down the line at third base. Shallow left field. Nick Kempton ranging in foul ground, and Kempton makes the catch. Sean Rodriguez, the shortstop, doesn't make it easy on him as Rodriguez came out there was shaking hands with the Australian native. And I tell you what, when your left fielder comes in like that, whoever your infielder is going out has to get the heck out of the way. And Rodriguez really didn't and made it a pretty dangerous catch for Kempton. Votto retired in the foul fly. That's the first out of the inning. That'll bring up the Dragon designated hitter Ryan Fry. Fry popped out to center his first time up. He's 0 for 1. Bass here with Boulevard on at first. Kernels with the advantage at 4-1 in the top half of inning number 3. Fastball that missed outside. A ball and no strikes. On the Dragon designated hitter. Fry with a team-high 10 home runs. Also has a team-high 30 runs batted in. The 1-0 coming home to Fry. Had a big cut. Count evens up at a ball and a strike. 2 RBI double for Nick Kipton. RBI single for Howie Kendrick. An RBI ground down for Quan Cosby. 4 runs, 5 hits for the Kernels. Swing and a miss by Fry and the slider, and the count now 1-2. RBI single for Chris Dickerson. 1 run, 4 hits, and an error for the Dragon. Right-hander Michel Samar has struck out 2. He has walked 2. Urson for the Dragons has struck out 1, walked 1. Another throw back over to first base. Luis Boulevard leadoff single. He is on at first. 1 down for the Dragons here in the top half of the third. And the 1-2 to Fry. Way upstairs and outside. And the count now at a ball and 2 strikes. That'll even things up at 2-2. Afternoon crowd today. It is going to be the best of the series by far. I would guess probably got to be 3,500, 4,000 people here. Great crowd on hand as the 2-2. Guys at a mile high on the infield. The shortstop Rodriguez. He will make the catch, and that is the second out of the inning. Ryan Fry pops up to the shortstop. 2 down. And then we'll bring up Ben Hines, the Dragon right fielder. Hines a strikeout victim his first time up. He is 0 for 1 on the afternoon. One of 2 strikeouts on the day. Runners on the move. Pitch coming home. Double clutch throw by Wilson. Boy, he has got a cannon for an arm, but not in time. Boulevard's got his ace stolen day for the season. Boulevard has stolen 8. He has been caught 2 times. A great jump, and I tell you what, Wilson hummed a strike down there. Only problem was he didn't get a clean grip on it the first time. A little bit of a double clutch. Now Boulevard in scoring position. Pitch to Hines down in the dirt. Count evens at 1-1. First pitch was a fastball strike on the outside corner. Boy, you'd love right here. If Hines can get this run home, you don't have to get all 3 runs that you trail by back right away. But if you could get 1, make it a 4-2 ball game as the 1-1. Hines pulls it and foul. Nice backhanded pick by Carlos Cuevara, coaching down at first base. Now ball and 2 strikes. Boulevard back to second. Michel Samar ahead of the count with the Dragon, the right fielder Ben Hines. 4-1, Kernels lead it. Top half of inning number 3. Samar is set, and the 1-2 pitch coming home to Ben Hines. Got him again. Fastball up and in. Hines was tied up and couldn't get the hands free. He is down on strikes. No runs, a hit, no errors by Cedar Rapids. The Dragons strand 1 runner. We go to the bottom half of inning number 3. Kernels with the 4-1 advantage. You're listening to Dayton Dragon Baseball on 1410 ESPN Radio.
Oh, Frank, I heard a rumor about another brewery.
Yeah, which one?
I can't say their name, but it rhymes with Miller.
Okay, all right. What's the rumor?
Well, they've always been jealous that Bud is the king of beers,
Right.
so they're going to start calling themselves the Queen of Carbs.
The Queen of Carbs.
Yeah, that's all they talk about in their ads, so they figured if the shoe fits, wear it.
Louis, how reliable is your source?
Well, my source was the ferret, so there is a slight margin for error.
That's right.
Clean the car.
Anheuser-Busch, St. Louis, Missouri.
You add, we subtract. Let's talk about wireless phone plans and what you're really getting for what you're paying. Because with Cincinnati Bell, you get truly unlimited wireless minutes to call anyone, anytime, anywhere in the U.S. for one flat monthly rate. Now that's something you can't get with Verizon or Singular. Plus, when you get our local home phone service, you can add our unlimited wireless plan for only $50 a month, or choose from one of our other great wireless plans. Either way, when you go with Cincinnati Bell Wireless, you get your wireless phone and activation free, but never have to deal with contracts or multiple bills. So go ahead, add unlimited talk and subtract unlimited cost. Add more conversation and subtract frustration. It's the one wireless plan that really works here in Dayton. So call, click, or come see us today. Cincinnati Bell. You add, we subtract. Just call 888-SIN-BELL. That's 888-TINDELL. Some restrictions apply and for details.
1410 ESPN.
The third of 4-1 Kernels advantage. Sean Rodriguez led things off in the second inning. Damian Erston allowed him to reach with a free pass, and Cedar Rapids ends up getting 4 runs home in that frame. Sean Rodriguez, Caleb Mayer, Blake Balcom, 5, 6, and 7. Swing and a miss, and the count evens at a ball and a strike. 4 runs on 5 hits with 1 error for Cedar Rapids this afternoon. 1 run, 4 hits, and an error for the Dayton Dragons. The right-hander, Damian Erston, is set. And the 1-1 coming home. Fastball. Swing and a miss, and the count now 1-2. Rodriguez does not have an official time up. A .274 hitter, 4 home runs, and 13 runs batted in. Ball and 2 strikes to the right-hander Rodriguez. Bat on his shoulder, parallel. The 1-2. Cranks it up. Hammers it out into right center. That's a base hit. Third consecutive inning that Erston is allowed the leadoff man to reach. And you put yourself in a significant, precarious position when you let that leadoff man reach. Dragons have not had a 1-2-3 inning yet this afternoon. Erston gave up a single to Cosby in the first. He walked Rodriguez in the second, gives up the base hit here to Rodriguez in the third. And when the leadoff man gets on base to start the inning, 70% of the time, he comes home to score. Leadoff base hit will bring up Caleb Mayer. Mayer reached on a boulevard error his first time up. This one fouled back on the right side. And the count 0-1 on Caleb Mayer. 0 for 1 on the day. 4-1, Kernels lead it in bottom half of inning number 3. Nothing in 1. Erston set back over to first base. Big league scoreboard, Florida leading. Check that. Cincinnati leading Florida at home. It's 2-1 Reds in the bottom half of the 4th. Milwaukee leading LA 2-0 in the bottom of the 3rd. St. Louis actually playing Pittsburgh today. They've had a bunch of rain in St. Louis over the past couple of days. 0-1 out into shallow right field. Van Hines camps underneath. Rodriguez, who went halfway, will retreat back to first base. First out of the inning as Caleb Mayer flies out. 1 down for Blake Balcom. 2-0 in the top of the 3rd. St. Louis leading Pittsburgh. Colorado and San Diego just about set to get underway. And at 10:15 tonight, Atlanta, Philadelphia, that's a 7:05 game. And Arizona at San Francisco, that one's at 10:15. Detroit and Kansas City, Minnesota and Tampa Bay will start up first off. Throw down the second base, runner on the move. Krafke got him. Rodriguez is thrown out trying to steal. It goes 2-4. Rodriguez thrown out for just the second time this season. Krafke with a nice throw there. 2 down in the inning. .210 Detroit at Kansas City. Minnesota's at Tampa. That's at 2:15. Anaheim is at Toronto. That's at 7:05. The Yankees at Baltimore at 7:05. Oakland and Boston at 7:05. Seattle with Cleveland at 7:05, Texas and Chicago at 8:05. Now in the top half of the fifth, Aaron Harang and Cincinnati leading Florida 2-1. After a foul ball back out of play, 0-2 on Blake Balkin. Ball and 2 strikes now as Urson misses with the pitch upstairs. 4-1. Kernels with the lead over the Dragons, the 1-2 coming home. Outside corner, Blake Balkin. Caught watching the paint dry, and that will take care of the Kernels in the third. No runs, 1 hit. The caught stealing erases the base runner. We are through 3 innings of baseball. Kernels with the advantage. It's the 4-1 Cedar Rapids lead on 1410 ESPN Radio.
It was a day I'll never forget. My soccer team was playing our best game ever. I was going up for the perfect header and hit the ball beautifully right into the back of the net. But when I landed, I heard this pop. My knee looked so bad. I never thought I'd be able to play again until I went to Kettering Sports Medicine Center.
At Kettering Sports Medicine Center, our team consists of over 70 healthcare, sports medicine, and rehabilitation specialists ready and waiting to help get you back in the game. We offer physician injury evaluation clinics, athletic training, physical therapy, hand therapy, sports physicals, and fast, freight-air acceleration sports training that helps you increase speed, agility, power, and self-confidence. Kettering Sports Medicine Center also has convenient locations in Kettering, Inglewood, Hip City, and Beaver Creek.
Today, I'm playing better than ever, faster, stronger, and more confident.
For more information, call 832-8982. That's 832-8982. Kettering Sports Medicine. For life.
You'd be crazy to fall in love with a mortgage from your bank, right? Unless your bank is Fifth Third. Purchase, build, or refinance your home with Fifth Third's low rate and no money down option and instant approval. All from the convenience of your local Fifth Third location. Walk in your local banking center and speak to a mortgage loan originator. Call 1-866-53-LOAN or visit us online at 53.com. Who's crazy now? Upon qualification, equal housing lender.
1410 ESPN.
Kyle Smith to lead things off for the Dragons. We go to the top half of inning number 4. Kyle Smith, Jeremiah Pipcorn, Chris Krofke. It will be 6, 7, and 8 for the Miami Valley's club. Smith, a strikeout victim his first time up. He is 0 for 1 on the day. 4-1 Kernels with the advantage. Smith after fouling one off. This one grounded inside the bag at third base off the glove of Matt Brown, rounding first and holding there. Big turn from Kyle Smith. He hangs on. Leadoff single for the Dragon left fielder. Kyle Smith now 1 out of 2. Jeremiah Pipcorn will be the hitter. Jeremiah 1 for 1 on the afternoon. Top of the 7th inning. It's the 1-0 Quad Cities advantage over Wisconsin. Everything else will start later on. Boyd at Kane County at 7. West Michigan at Lansing 7:05. Battle Creek at South Bend at 7:30. Burlington and Peoria 8 o'clock. Fort Wayne and Clinton 8 o'clock. Our ball game here 4-1. The top half of the 4th inning. Go back over to first base and Kyle Smith back in standing up. So a full slate of games in the Midwest League. Everybody changes dance partners. The Dragons in Fort Wayne to start a 4-game series tomorrow. Cedar Rapids stays home. They will host Lansing. On Memorial Day, Monday, the Kernels will see Ryan Dempster be making his second rehab start. Dempster was drafted by the Rangers, traded to the Florida Marlins, pitched in Kane County in '96, swing and a miss on a letter-high fastball. Pipcorn down in the count now 0-2. Pitching in the big leagues with the Florida Marlins, also has thrown in the majors with the Cincinnati Reds. Now trying to make a comeback off of Tommy John surgery with the Chicago Cubs. The 0-2 coming home to Pipcorn, lays off the slider, and the count now with a ball and 2 strikes. Pitcorn 2 out of 6. Batting at .333 in his young professional career. The 1-2 coming home. Outside corner, got him. It is a very wide strike zone for Jesse Redline this afternoon. 4th strikeout for the right-hander, Michelle Samar. 1 down, and Chris Krosky will be the hitter. Pitcorn down on strikes, first out of the inning. Krosky drew a walk his first time up, stands in. Runner at first is Kyle Smith. It is a 4-1 Cedar Rapids advantage, and the pitch to Krosky. Strike on the outside corner to the left-hander. And the count 0-1. Middle infield, a double play depth. Sean Rodriguez at shortstop. Howie Kendrick at second. Michelle Samar. Ground ball, second base side. Kendrick with a dive, knocks it down, gets up and throws out Krosky. Nice play from Howie Kendrick. Took a base hit away there. 2 down in the inning. Kyle Smith advancing to second base on the play. It should have been first and third for the Dragons with 1 down. Instead, it's runner at second with 2 down, and the number 9 hitter, Will Hudson, coming up. Well, that's a great play from Howie Kendrick. And if you're Krosky, not much you can do other than to head back to the dugout after you get robbed of a base hit and try to go get him the next time. The 2 down, Hudson stands in. The pitch coming home to the right-hander. Inside corner for a strike, and the count 0-1. Will 0 for 1. Grounded out to the second baseman, Howie Kendrick. That was back in the 1-run second inning for the Dragons. Top half of the 4th now. It's a 4-1 advantage for Cedar Rapids. The 0-1. Down to the dirt. Count even to the ball and a strike. Hudson, the switch hitter, batting left-handed against the right-hander. Dragons with Krosky swinging it from the left side. Votto from the left side. And Hudson also batting from the left side as the 1-1 coming home. It's in tight. 2 balls and a strike. Outfielders, deep. Straight up, Nick Kimpton in left. Quan Cosby in center. Blake Bolton out right field. Matt Brown, 20 feet off the line at third. He is halfway. 10 off the stripe and halfway at first base for Matt Abram. They're going to try Abram. This one pops up. Who's it going to be? Abram tries to come in, make the catch. No. Hit off the end of his mitt. And Michelle Samar pointing up at something up near the roof area. Will Hudson stayed in between the base path that's marked off, and that is his right to run down there. Didn't make any interference, didn't interfere with Matt Abram, but bad communication by the Kernels on the right side of the infield. That should be an error on the first baseman. I don't see one up on the board, and I don't believe that there will be one that will be put on, but you could make the case that regardless of the confusion between catcher, pitcher, and first baseman, somebody's got to make that play. And that may have hit off the end of Abram's mitt, so he may have gotten away with one there. Either way, Hudson has got new life at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Kyle Smith on at second base. And the 2-2 coming home. With a looper, and that will be tracked down by the shortstop, Sean Rodriguez. He makes the catch out in shallow left center. Nice play. Hudson is down, and the Dragons are done in the top half of the 4th inning. The leadoff single is stranded by Cedar Rapids right-hander Michelle Samar. We have played 3.5. We'll go to the bottom of the 4th. 4-1 Kernels over the Dragons on 1410 ESPN Radio.
When it comes to innovation, there are baby steps, there are big steps, and there are the steps of men who shop at big and tall stores. It's those steps that belong to Donato. First, they brought you no dough, a revolutionary way to eat pizza without the crust. But they didn't stop for a high five or an attaboy. With quiet conviction and brilliant gusto, they sought a way to enjoy Donato's oven-baked subs without the carbs. In search of something worthy of encapsulating only the freshest ingredients, they discovered a tortilla and its whole wheat. With that, the Donato's low-carb tortilla sub was born. It's loaded to the edges and warmed in the oven for a taste that'll warm your heart. The new Donato's tortilla sub in any great sub flavor. From the grilled chicken club to the steak and cheese, they're mouth-watering and they're melting.
Yes, sir. They're the
head over to Susie. Oh, man. I'm really sick of this car. It used to be dependable, not anymore. I guess it's time to start looking again.
No matter why you're looking for a vehicle, check out Dayton Daily News Wheels for new and used cars, trucks, and more. Wheels, only in the Dayton Daily News and online at DaytonDailyNews.com, your #1 local auto source.
1410 ESPN.
From Damian Urson. Strike fouled back off the screen by Matt Abram. Abram, Nick Kipton, and Quan Cosby. 8-9-1 for the Kernels in the bottom half of the fourth inning. It is a 4-1 advantage for Cedar Rapids. 4 runs on 6 hits with an error for the Kernels. 1 run, 5 hits, and an error for the Dragons. Tyler Pelham starting to loosen down in the Dayton bullpen. Fastball let her high at 93. Swung on and missed by Abram. And the count 0-2. Abram reached on a fielder's choice in the second inning, came home to score on the RBI ground out by Quan Cosby. All the offense in the second inning of this ball game. The Dragons took a 1-0 advantage on an RBI infield single by Chris Dickerson. Kernels came back with 4 in their half of the second. A 2 RBI double from Nick Kipton. RBI ground out from Cosby, broken bat, second baseman. Boulevard behind the bag, throws out Abram. And 1 down to the inning. The handle of the bat just outside of the right side of the batter's box. The barrel of the bat, which consists now of about 90% of it. Shot out towards the mound by Damian Urson. Urson able to avoid it. Boulevard made the play. Abram retired, 1 gone in the fourth inning. To bring up Nick Kipton. 2 RBI double his first time up. He eventually came home to score on the RBI single from Howie Kendrick. 4 runs on 6 hits for the Kernels. 1 run, 5 hits for the Dragons, each team with an error. Kipton bumps up the third base line, and the Dragons are going to let that one go. Hipcorn finally picks it up in foul ground. And the count 0-1. Well, it looked like Hipcorn and Urson were kind of boxing each other out a little bit. Not exactly sure if one thought the other one was going to pick it up, but Urson was down there, so was Jeremiah charging from third. Hipcorn kind of had his arms out to try to keep Urson from touching it. Urson tried to get the hip into Hipcorn to try to keep him from touching it, and it eventually rolled foul and goes down to a strike in the count of the left-hander, 0-1. Kipton, no home runs, 9 RBI with the 2 that he picked up. Back in the second inning, the 0-1 coming home from Urson. Fastball missed upstairs. Count evens at 1-1. Ball and a strike to Kipton. 1 down, nobody on. Breaking ball over but low. The slider caught the corner but a little bit downstairs. And the count on the left-hander. Now 2 balls and a strike. They play Kipton deep in the outfield, 2-1. This outside now, 3 balls, 1 strike on the Colonel left fielder. Kipton got the start a couple of days back in center. Actually, the first game of this series, we saw Cosby in left. It has been Cosby in center since. 3-1 pitch outside corner, and the count now 3-2. This is the first game that Kipton has started in the outfield since. The 3-2 pitch missed outside. That's ball 4. Second walk allowed by Urson. And the 3 in a row that Urson had retired set down as well. Tyler Pelham now throwing off the hill, warming up down there with Jared Schmidt down to the Dragon bullpen down the line and left. Dragons in the third base dugout. Dayton this afternoon wearing the black batting practice tops with the gray pants. Kernels wearing their red batting practice jerseys with the white pants. Strike on the outside corner, and the count now at 1. White jerseys, green numbers outlined in white for the Dragons. The Kernels with the red jerseys, numbers in white. And they've also got blue trim in the front. And they look very reminiscent to the new uniforms of the Anaheim Angels. Ball and a strike, the fastball missed upstairs. Now 2-1 to Quan Cosby. Not sure if Urson has enough pitches left in the arsenal to finish this inning off. Pellin's starting to heat up down there. This one, a chopper. Boulevard second, a range sidearm throw from the outfield grass. Votto makes the catch and quickly scoots out of the way. Cosby coming down the line. With Cosby, especially from the left side, when he hits one down there, you do not have a whole lot of time for hesitation or debate on what you want to do. Cosby has got great speed. He's a track champion out of the state of Texas, was a great football player, turned down a full ride to play for R.C. Slocum and Texas A&M. This is another guy that you've definitely got to make your decision of what you're going to do with the baseball. That's Howie Kendrick stands in. Fastball that missed outside. Kendrick wears number 8. He plays second base. Wondering if that's a homage to Joe Morgan. Doesn't have the elbow pump, but he's got a little bit of a hand tap with the front and bottom hand. Anybody remember his Tiger first baseman and catcher John Walkenfuss, who also played with Pittsburgh a little bit. Walkenfuss would do the same thing. Kind of helped him get his timing. If he would tap the top right hand of the fingers. Runners on the move. This one crushed down into center. Dickerson going back near the warning track, and that one gone. 2-run home run for Howie Kendrick, his 4th of the season. He's got 3 RBI in the day. It gives him 20 and 21 right. For Kendrick, his 4th home run, his 3rd RBI of the day, gives him 21 on the season. Wilson with a sharp single. No balls, 2 strikes from Matt Brown. Appreciate your patience. We apologize for the technical glitch. Always seems to happen for whatever reason when we're in the great state of Iowa. Not exactly sure how the phone system is set up here, but sometimes we get a great reception, and other times you roll the dice and see what happens, and hopefully we are going to be error-free for the rest of the afternoon, at least from a technical standpoint. This one hammered out to left. Smith's going to watch that one go, and gone. 2-run home run, and Damian Hurst is throwing batting practice right now in the bottom half of the fourth inning. It'll be an 8-1 ball game. Cedar Rapids all over the Dragons with a couple of 4-run innings. So Matt Brown is 11th home run, RBI number 39, RBI number 40. And Alonzo Powell coming out. That'll be all for Damian Erson, but the damage already done. The signal has been made. We'll have a new pitcher. We'll take a 60-second timeout. Tyler Pellin going to come in. Cedar Rapids has broken it open. A couple of home runs in the inning. Now an 8-1 Kernels advantage. Back after a 60-second timeout, you're listening to Dragon Baseball on 1410 ESPN Radio.
And now, here's something from Coors Light for everybody out there who loves summer.
I love working on my Sam, that girl from the taco stand, lots of long weekends and friends. Love red, white, blue, black out on the shoes, come on some love, green, and
yeah, have yourself a long, hot summer and a nice cold Coors Light. Coors Light. Cold, down, easy. Rock on. Coors Brewing Company, Golden, Colorado.
Next time you buy beer, pick up some Coors Light and taste the cold, crisp, refreshing difference. 1410 ESPN.
Pitcher for the Dragons will be the aforementioned Tyler Pellin. 1 win, 4 losses on the season, 11th appearance, a 6.68 earned run average. 32 in the third innings of baseball thrown. Pellin has given him 42 hits, 30 runs, 24 of the runs earned. He has struck out 32, walked 16. Midwest League batting 302 against him. Well, Damian Erson knocked around a couple of 4-run innings against him. 4 in the second, 4 here in the fourth. Erson on the day has given up a pair of 2-run home runs. 8-1, Cedar Rapids all over the Dragons in the bottom half of the fourth inning. 2 down, and Pellin to face Sean Rodriguez. Fastball fouled out of play in the count, 0-1. Final numbers on Damian Erson. 3 2/3 innings, gives up 9 hits. He strikes out 2, walks 2, allows 8 runs. 5 of the runs earned. No balls and a strike with a pitch coming home. The slider that missed inside, and the count evens at 1-1. Four hits in this inning for Cedar Rapids. Make that 3 hits. The leadoff walk to Nick Tipton. He scored on the 2-run home run with 2 down by Howie Kendrick. And a single from Bobby Wilson. Wilson scored on the 2-run home run for Matt Brown. Brown now with 11 home runs and 40 runs batted in. Ball and 2 strikes here to Rodriguez. Another one fouled back out of play. The count stays at 1-2. RBI leader. Brown snaps the tie with Kevin Collins. He's now got 40, first in the Midwest League in that category. And Brown snaps the tie for third with Ryan Fry with 10 home runs. He now moves into a second-place tie with Ryan DePerick of Lansing. They both trail Kevin Collins, who has 13. Another 1-2 pitch fouled back off the screen. Count stays at a ball and 2 strikes. 8 runs, 9 hits, and an error for Cedar Rapids. 1 run, 5 hits, and an error for the Dragons. Bottom half of inning number 4. And the 1 ball. 2-strike pitch coming home. Got it. Bottom fell out of the slider. Nice pitch from Tyler Pellin to swing and a miss. And that will take care of the Kernels in the 4th inning. Cedar Rapids comes up with 4 runs, 3 hits, no errors, nobody left. We have played 4 innings of baseball. Kernels with the lead at 8-1 over the Dragons on 1410 ESPN Radio.
Boss Chevrolet, Ohio's #1 volume Chevy dealer for the past 3 consecutive years, is celebrating this year with Chevrolet and their 5 new models. The biggest lineup of cars, trucks, and SUVs just got bigger. Now at Boss Chevrolet, stop in and check out a great selection of all the new Chevrolet vehicles, all priced and ready to go. With over 600 new Chevrolets to choose from, why go anywhere else? Plus, GM employees and family members save even more. Or, if you're looking for a pre-owned vehicle, Boss Chevrolet has one of the Miami Valley's largest selections. Over 250 pre-owned vehicles to choose from, including GM-certified used vehicles and hard-to-find cars, trucks, SUVs, and vans. Most of them priced below Kelly's Blue Book retail pricing. Shop now. Shop smart. Shop Boss Chevrolet. Home of the best price, best value guarantee every day on any new or pre-owned vehicle. That's Boss Chevrolet, conveniently located just minutes from your home off I-675 and State Route 48 on Loop Road in Centerville. Stop by in person or visit them on the web at bossauto.com.
Alzheimer's is a part of my life. My wife was diagnosed with early stages of the disease. Then our doctor referred us to Kettering to have a memory check test.
Kettering's memory check test scan may diagnose Alzheimer's at its earliest stages. This gives you a chance to seek the latest medication that can improve or stabilize memory loss. Get the answers you need about Alzheimer's now with Kettering's memory check test scan. Call your doctor today at the Kettering Memory Disorder Center at 395-8043. Kettering Medical Center for life. 1410 ESPN.
Dragons with some catching up to do. Top of the order here for Dayton in top half of inning number 5. It is an 8-1 Cedar Rapids advantage. Damian Ersman gave up all 8 runs, 4 in the second, 4 in the fourth, 5 of the runs earned. And the Dragons have had some base runners on against Michelle Samar, but they've not been able to get anybody home other than Jeremiah Pipcorn. Pipcorn scored on the RBI infield single by this guy, Chris Dickerson. A ball and a strike as Dickerson leads it off in the top half of inning number 5. Chris Dickerson, Luis Bolivar, and Joey Votto. Dickerson out in the center. Cosby coming on and will play that one out of bounds. Dickerson now 2 out of 3 on the ball game. So Chris out at first base. Now we'll bring up Luis Bolivar. Top half of inning number 5. It is an 8-1 advantage for the Kernels. 8 runs, 9 hits with an error for Cedar Rapids. The Dragons with a run on 6 hits, also an error. Chris Dickerson at first base with a leadoff single. Luis Bolivar will stand in. Luis on the day, 2 out of 2. Fastball strike on the outside corner, and the count 0-1. Michelle Samar has struck out 4. He has walked 2. No balls in the strike with Matt Brown, even with a bag at third. Nice pick by Bobby Wilson. Had to scoot through the left side of the batter's box and backhand it to keep that one from getting back to the screen. Middle infielders at double play depth. Sean Rodriguez at shortstop. Howie Kendrick at second base. The ball and a strike to Bolivar on the pitch. Luis lays off, and the count now 2-1. Two balls and a strike. Dragons trailing by a touchdown. 8-1. Dickerson started and stopped. Shoots back to first base. The pitch missed outside. 3-1. Should be a good pitch to hit here. Dickerson may be on the move. 3 balls and a strike. Matt Abram holding him on at first base. Runner does not go. Pitch coming home. Tapped foul. Now 3-2. Dragons have teamed up with Time Warner Cable to offer Dayton fans a great price on Time Warner Cable's Roadrunner high-speed online. The Dragons Roadrunner package, you'll get 6 months of the service at $29.95 inside corner. Called strike 3. Played a little bit wide this afternoon from home plate umpire Jesse Redwine. Fifth strikeout. That is the third looking for the Dragons on the day. $29.95 for the first 6 months. That includes free installation, and there is no contract to sign. While supplies last, if you sign up for a Roadrunner, the Dragons will throw in a great prize package. 2004 autographed bat from the team, a mini mascot bobblehead, featuring Heater, Jim, and Wink, a Dragon Pat, and an invitation to a special movie night at Fifth Third Field. Use promotional code at DD2004. Call Time Warner at 888-567-2318. That's 888-567-2318. Strike on the outside corner to Votto. Now a ball and 2 strikes. For information on that or anything else involving the Dragons this season, contests, marketing opportunity, tickets, whatever the case may be, if you have a question, we've got an answer, and it's at DaytonDragons.com. Votto fouls it back out of play. The count stays at a ball and 2 strikes. Top half of inning number 5, 8-1 Cedar Rapids. Kernels with 4 in the second, 4 more in the fourth. Pitch to Votto. Weak wave and a fastball, letter high. 6 strikeout for Michel Tamar. 2 down in the inning. That will leave things up for the Dragon designated hitter, Ryan Fry. Fry is 0 for 2. He's going out to center. He pops up to the shortstop. Bats here with Chris Dickerson on at first base and 2 gone. 8-1 Kernels with the advantage. The fastball missed away, and the count of ball and no strikes. Fry with a team-high 10 home runs, also has a team best 30 runs batted in. The 1-0 pitch. Count evens up at 1-1. Good fastball. Well, down by the hotel that we stay here, the Cedar River running right through downtown Cedar Rapids. The 1-1 pitch, Fry with a swing and a miss. And this thing, I'm not sure what it is normally at. I guess the crest is coming today. 21 feet, which I think puts it about, I guess they said 6 or 7 feet over flood level, somewhere in that neighborhood. The 1-2 coming home, swing and a miss by Fry. He is down on strike, so they've got weather helicopters and a National Guard helicopter just buzzing around just to make sure everybody's okay, constantly circling the stadium. My guess is they're getting a free look at the baseball game this afternoon. And if you're a Cedar Rapids fan, you've liked what you've seen if you're at the ballpark today. 8-1 Kernels through 4.5 on 1410 ESPN Radio.
Oh, Frank, I heard a rumor about another brewery.
Yeah, which one?
I can't say their name, but it rhymes with Miller.
Okay, yeah. What's the rumor?
Well, they've always been jealous that Bud is the king of beers,
Right.
so they're going to start calling themselves the Queen of Carbs.
The Queen of Carbs.
Yeah, that's all they talk about in their ads, so they figured if the shoe fits, wear it.
Louis, how reliable is your source?
Well, my source was the Ferret, so there is a slight margin for error.
Thank God.
Queen of Carbs.
Anheuser-Busch, St. Louis, Missouri. Looking for a job? Here's your best chance to meet recruiters face-to-face. The Dayton Daily News Job Market General and Security Clearance Hiring Event from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. Tuesday, May 18th at the Holiday Inn Miami. 2 pavilions, free admission, resume database available. If it's time to make a career move, then make it happen at the Dayton Daily News Job Market Hiring Event. Tuesday, May 18th at the Holiday Inn Miami. Don't miss it.
Life is always changing, so keep up this weekend with the Dayton Daily News and DaytonDailyNews.com.
2 Wittenberg track standouts, 2 very different backgrounds. Who is our Mom of the Year? How's your mind and body? Pull-out session tells all. Why parents switch their kids to Dayton Charter School? Special nurses session Friday. Local teenage job market. How's it look this summer?
You'll find it this weekend in the Dayton Daily News and at DaytonDailyNews.com, your #1 local news source.
1410 ESPN.
Of inning number 5, 8-1 Cedar Rapids. Tyler Pellin's first pitch, 10 foul down the line at first base by Caleb Mayer. 8-1 Kernels with the advantage. 8 runs, 9 hits, and 1 error for Cedar Rapids on the day. 1 run, 6 hits, and 1 error for the Dragons. Pair of 2-run home runs in the 4th inning. Howie Kendrick with 1, Matt Brown with the other. The 0-1 coming home. Fastball missed upstairs. Now a ball and a strike. Kernels with 4 in the second, a 2 RBI double for Nick Kipton. Quan Cosby with an RBI ground out. Howie Kendrick, his first of 3 runs batted in with an RBI single. Broken bat, Shot past Thompson, base hit by Caleb Mayer, that out into left field. With the exception of the fourth inning, every inning in this ball game, Cedar Rapids has had the leadoff man on. Blake Balcom will stand in. Balcom on the day, 1 out of 2. Singled in the second. He struck out looking in the third. Mayer on at first base. Nobody down. Leadoff base hit. Now double digits with 10 for the Kernels. Double play ball. Bolivar at second. He'll go to Hudson for 1. Back to first base. Got him. 4-6-3 double play. Nice turn by the Dragons middle infielders. Tyler Pellin gets the pitcher's best friend, the double play ground ball. That's 2 down in the inning. And that will bring up Matt Abram, the Cedar Rapids first baseman. Abram is 0 for 2. And as of right now, Matt Abram, the only Kernel that does not have at least one base hit. Every Kernel has reached base, and with the exception of Quan Cosby, every Kernel has scored a run. Ball and no strikes. That one missed inside. Jesse Redwine on the plate this afternoon. Nick Monaco on the bases. Bottom half of inning number 5. It's the finale of the 4-game series. Cedar Rapids, at this point anyhow, looks like they're on their way to taking 3 out of 4. The Dragons still with 4 opportunities to swing the bat. And they've had base runners. They just have not been able to generate any run-scoring offense. Dayton has picked up 6 hits. They've also gotten a couple of walks, so they've had the guys on base. With the exception of the second inning in which Dickerson got an RBI and an infield single, when they've had hitters on base, when they've gotten hitters on base, they just have not been able to get them home. Ball and a strike, the fastball missed in tight to Abram, and the count now 2-1. Dragons deep in the outfield. Smith in left. Dickerson in center. Himes in right field. They're bunched up towards center. Smith about 150 feet off the line in left. Himes about 150 feet off the line in right field. They're playing Abram gap to gap. The 2-1 coming home. Curveball fouled back out of play first base side. That'll even things up at 2 balls and 2 strikes. That one back into the stands. A little bit of an overcast day, but a very comfortable day for baseball. 73 degrees at the start. West winds at 14 miles an hour. The 2-2 coming home from Pellin. Jumps out of the gap in right center. Ben Himes ranging back. Wind will push that one towards the warning track. The catch made by Himes. Nice running grab. Matt Abram retired. Still the only Kernel and does not have a base hit on the afternoon. No runs to hit, no errors, nobody left. We played 5. 8-1 Kernels on 1410 ESPN Radio.
First, they brought you no dough, a revolutionary way to eat pizza without the crust. Then, with quiet conviction and brilliant gusto, they discovered a way to enjoy Donato's oven-baked subs without the carbs. Introducing the new Donato's Tortilla Sub. All your favorite ingredients on a low-carb tortilla and warmed in the oven. In any great sub flavor, it's mouth-watering and it's melted. This Memorial Day, remember those who have sacrificed so much to bring peace, freedom, and democracy to the world. Shook the hand of a veteran. Display your flag with pride. Take a moment to remember those who can't be with us today. And join Kroger in celebrating America's heroes.
You'll find everything you need to make the holiday weekend a memorable one at Kroger. Right now, with your Kroger Plus card, family packs of Tyson Thin and Fancy, tenders, or skinless boneless chicken breast, or buy one, get one free. USDA select boneless ribeye, strip, or T-bone steak at $5.99 a pound. The new crop of naturally sweet California cherries is in, and the price right at just $1.99 a pound. And all 24 packs of Pepsi are $4.88. Do your Memorial Day cookout the right way with Kroger. Right store, right price.
1410 ESPN.
Pipcorn shows front, gets it down third base line. The throw to first, and in time and one down. 1-3. That was actually Ben Hines leading off the inning, not Jeremiah Pipcorn. Hines, Smith, and Pipcorn in the inning. Got my numbers a little jumbled up. Hines wearing 23, Pipcorn wearing 32. Hines got the bunt down a little bit too close to the pitcher's mound up the third base side. Good idea from the Dragon right fielder. Just didn't get it in the right spot. One down in the inning. Kyle Smith will stand in with one out, nobody on. Outside corner for strike to count 0-1. 8 runs, 10 hits, and an error for the Kernels. 1 run, 6 hits, and an error for the Dayton Dragons. Smith starting on a fastball. And the count 0-2. Kernels with a pair of 4-run innings. They got 4 in the second. They got 4 more in the fourth inning. All the runs scoring against the Dragon starter Damian Erson. Out of the 8 runs given up, 5 of the runs earned. Fouled off on the first base side, backed by the Kernel dugout. There is action down in the Cedar Rapids bullpen. A left-hander starting to loosen. Scott Hindman, 6'4", 220 pounds, out of Inverness, Illinois. Ball and 2 strikes. Tomorrow's pitch, a fastball right by Kyle Smith, a swing and a miss. Second out of the inning. Second time that Smith has struck out on the afternoon. 2 gone. That will bring up Jeremiah Pipcorn. 8 strikeouts for Michelle Samar. Samar season high for strikeouts 10. We got those in a 7-inning performance, a win against the Fort Wayne Wizards back here on May 4th. Gave up 3 hits in that ball game and just 1 run. So numbers that are going to be close to matching the numbers on that start, which is his best outing of the season in terms of number of runs given up, strikeouts, innings pitched, number of hits allowed. Ball and no strikes to Pipcorn. Fastball missed outside. And the count now 2 balls, no strikes. It'll be interesting to see how Pipcorn adjusts to swinging with the wooden bat. It's the 2-0 pitch coming home. Outside corner for a strike, now 2-1. Here's a guy that up until probably 3 weeks ago, 4 weeks ago, depending on how long the college season went for the North Dakota State Bison. Yankton hit a ton down the line and left. If it's fair, it's gone. And is it a home run? No, they say foul. Foul's coming down. Alonzo's hot. And that one inside the pole. How is that not a fair ball? Pipcorn still standing at second base, and that's a terrible call by Jesse Redwine. Alonzo Powell hot, and you can't blame him. That one caught to the right of the foul pole down the line in left field. And Pipcorn's going to head back to home plate. I don't think Alonzo Powell is going to go anywhere anytime soon. Chris Krafke will grab the bat. Alonzo still letting Jesse Redwine have it. Redwine refusing to go talk to his partner down at first base, Nick Monaco. He flat out blew that call. And Alonzo Powell right now not going away. And the question that Powell's got is, how does the guy catch the ball in the second row of the seat where his seat is at to the right of the foul pole? That would mean that the ball would have to have curved from left to right, from foul into fair territory in the seat. And I think Powell is giving him the physics ledger where that one physically impossible. And Alonzo just got thrown out of the ball game. I think that's what Alonzo wanted all along. I only wanted to hear Jesse Redwine admit that he blew the call, and he did. Now Alonzo's going to get his money worth, and he can't blame him. So Powell thrown out of the ball game. That's a lousy call from Jesse Redwine. Max Venable will head down to third base. And if I'm not mistaken, I want to go back and look at the Clinton series because I think that these were the 2 guys that were umpiring the ball games then. That was strike called. Pipcorn down on strikes, and you can't blame Jeremiah for being a little bit ticked off. That is a lousy call from Jesse Redwine. Tough enough when you're down 8-1. And when the umpire at home plate misses a good game, boy, oh boy. We are through 5.5. 8-1 Kernels on 1410 ESPN Radio.
At Kettering Memorial Hospital, we know that many factors, including family history, can increase the chance of developing cancer. That's why our oncology specialists fight the disease every day with the most advanced prevention, detection, treatment, and support available. Which is why U.S. News and World Report named us one of the nation's top 30 hospitals in oncology care. Cancer care for life. That's Charles at Kettering Memorial Hospital. Well, let's see. Where to start on today's big project? First, got to check today's big headlines. And, hey, that's new. Pretty simple. Well organized. I like it.
Our EBTU's website merges news, entertainment, classified, and retail advertising into a single homepage, so you can get the information you need with the Dayton Daily News in print every day and online anytime at DaytonDailyNews.com, your #1 local news source.
Yes, sir. Time to head over to Snoopy. Oh, man. I'm really sick of this car. It used to be dependable. Not anymore. I guess it's time to start looking again.
No matter why you're looking for a vehicle, check out Dayton Daily News Wheels for new and used cars, trucks, and more. Wheels, only in the Dayton Daily News and online at DaytonDailyNews.com, your #1 local auto source.
1410 ESPN.
Back at the ballpark, we go to the bottom half of the sixth inning. Well, I think the only person in the ballpark that thought that Jeremiah Pipcorn's home run was a foul ball was, unfortunately, the clown that gets to make the call, Jesse Redwine. And if you were mistaken on what I just said, I called him a clown. Second time that Jesse Redwine has blown a home run call this year. That's the reason that Alonzo Powell went absolutely nuts back in Clinton. And it was the Dragons' third game of the season on the road. Back on April 18th, it was a Sunday game. Chris Dickerson hit one off of the set of recessed signs, meaning that they're set back in right center field. Bounced it off the second set of signs. It came back on the field. Monaco called it a fair ball, which it was, but called it in play. Dickerson ended up getting a double. Should have been a home run. That one was a blown call. And the one this afternoon, a blown call. 2 balls and 2 strikes as Tyler Helen back to work against Nick Kipton. Powell back off the screen. The count stays at 2 balls and 2 strikes. And I tell you what, give Jeremiah Pipcorn a lot of credit. He showed a lot more resolve than what I would have. It's a 2-2 pitch. That one fouled back to sweet level. Pipcorn still in the ball game down at third base. I'm telling you right now, if that was me, I would not have been. 2 balls and 2 strikes. This one out into right center field for a base hit. Once again, the leadoff man on. Kipton will motor into second base. That'll be a double. Bottom half of the 6th inning, Nick Kipton with his second hit. He's got a pair of doubles on the day. 2 runs batted in and a couple of runs scored. Boy, it's one thing, I tell you what. It's one thing if it's very close down the line, but that wasn't even close. That was fair by at least a half dozen feet. The pitch coming home, fastball that missed outside. And that's the unfortunate thing. Alonzo Powell's going to get a letter, or get a fax, or whatever else, from the Midwest League president, George Stelius, because he's got to be accountable when he gets thrown out of the ball game. Well, how is the umpire accountable for blowing that call? 1 ball, no strikes, and the pitch going home. Sent down the line. That one off the wall. Well, that one's a fair ball. That will score a run. Kipton comes home. And that is now a 9-1 ball game. I'll give Monaco credit. He at least got that one right. RBI double for Quan Cosby. His second run batted into the ball game. Cosby 2 out of 3. Kendrick with 3 runs batted in. He'll stand in. He's got an RBI single and a 2-run home run. But it is not a fair system. You've got 2 umpires. You've got to have somebody that the umpires can be held accountable to. Because what will happen is the umpire that throws out a manager or a player from the game. This one out into right field. That'll be a base hit. Advancing to third base, Quan Cosby. Howie Kendrick is second. Now runners on the corner. Still nobody down. 13 hits on the ball game now for the Kernels. And if the umpires are responsible for disciplining or for turning in the reports that ultimately ends with the disciplining of a manager or a player, who is the umpire responsible for? You don't have any representatives from the Midwest League here gauging whether or not the umpire makes the correct call, whether he doesn't make the correct call. Supposedly, you've got people from minor league baseball that scout the umpires, but if that's the case out of 140 games, these guys may be judged and evaluated once or twice. Now, Alonzo Powell's going to get a $50 fine. And the sole reason that he will get the $50 fine is because he was thrown out of the game based on a call that Jesse Redline completely blew. So it cost the Dragon skipper part of his paycheck, but the home plate umpire doesn't get a warning, doesn't get a reprimand, doesn't have anything that goes down on his chart or record or log or file about how he flat out not only blew one call, but it's the second time that he's done it. Runners down the corner, still nobody down, and Bobby Wilson, the hitter. And I'll tell you what, if this guy will keep advancing through the minor league baseball system and eventually make it up to the big leagues, boy, the umpiring profession's in some trouble. Ball and no strikes, and the pitch missed in tight, and the count 2-0. Tyler Pelliter with runners on the corners needs to buckle down here. It's a 9-1 ball game. Dragons in the bottom of the 6th inning, trailing Cedar Rapids, and Dayton obviously running out of opportunities to try to get back into this one. Ellen set, 2 balls, no strikes. Comebacker up the middle. That'll sneak through. Another base hit, another run scored. Bobby Wilson with an RBI. Cosby on his way to third. He'll make it in. That's now a 10-1 game. 10 runs on 14 hits, and the Dragons right now are getting knocked around in the 6th inning. Cedar Rapids 4 in the 2nd, 4 more in the 4th. They've got 2 in the 6th. Again, it's runners in 1st and 3rd. And at this point, still nobody down in the Kernels 6th inning. 10-14-1 for Cedar Rapids, 1-6-1 for the Dragons. Pitch coming home to Matt Brown. Foul back off the screen. Cedar Rapids. Matt Brown, the hitter, 2-run home run his last time. About first time that he faced Tyler Pellin. Brown was the last Kernels hitter to face Damian Urson, the 0-1. Fouled back out of play. And the count now 0-2. Dragons in the 7th, Chris Krosky, Will Hudson, and Chris Dickerson. 8-9-1. No balls, 2 strikes, and this one, lifted foul. That one back into the upper deck. Over on the first base side, and the count stays no balls, 2 strikes. Runner at first is Bobby Wilson. He's got an RBI single. Runner at third is Howie Kendrick. He picked up a base hit. 2 runs in the inning for the Kernels. RBI double from Quan Cosby, RBI single from Bobby Wilson. Pitch coming home. Out into center field, Chris Dickerson will make the catch. Cosby not tagging from third base. Matt Brown retired first out of the inning. On the fly out to center fielder Chris Dickerson, 1 down. And Sean Rodriguez, the hitter. Action again down the Kernel bullpen. Again, it's left-hander Scott Hinman. First pitch home to Rodriguez. Fouled back off the screen, and the count 0-1. Bottom of the 6th inning, it's a 10-1 Cedar Rapids advantage. 10 runs, 14 hits, and an error for the Kernels. 1 run, 6 hits, and an error for the Dragons. 4 runs in the 2nd for Cedar Rapids. 4 more runs in the 4th inning. 2 runs in the 6th. And the 0-1 coming home. Tapped foul at home plate. And the count now 0-2. Rodriguez on the day, 1 out of 2. Single was thrown out trying to steal, then was back in the 3rd, struck out of the 4th as the first hitter to face Tyler Pellin. For the second go-around for the Kernels against the Dayton Southpaw. Down the line in right field, Ben Himes ranging over to the corner. Tagging and scoring from 3rd, Quan Cosby, or Howie Kendrick, pardon me. Now an 11-1 ball game. RBI for Sean Rodriguez, sacrifice fly. Second out of the inning, that'll leave things up to Caleb Mayer. Third run of the inning given up by Tyler Pellin. Urson, the starter for the Dragons, 3 2/3 innings, gave up 9 hits. He struck out 2, walked 2, 8 runs, 5 of the runs earned. Michelle Samar has gone all the way for Cedar Rapids. That one fouled back off the mask of the Dragon catcher, Koski, and the count 0-1. 11-1 Cedar Rapids, the bottom half of inning number 6. Tyler Pellin trying to get out of the 6th. The Dragons will need a bunch of runs, starting with the top half of the 7th inning. Down to their final 3 at-bats is the 0-1 curveball in there. Nice pitch, the count now 0-2. Dayton took 3 out of 4 from the Burlington Bees, and unless they can mount a big comeback, they're looking at dropping 3 out of 4 in this series to Cedar Rapids, which would even things up on the road at 4 wins, 4 losses. 0-2 pitch. Curveball jumps off the outside corner. Now a ball and 2 strikes. Mayer 1 out of 3. Reached on an error in the 2nd inning, scored a run, flew out to right field in the 3rd, singled his last time up, and was forced down to the front end of a 4-6-3 double play. But 1-2. Missed inside, now 2 balls, 2 strikes. 2 down, runner at first base. Bobby Wilson. Wilson picked up an RBI single that made the score 11-1 Cedar Rapids. We're in the bottom half of the 6th inning. If Caleb Mayer can keep it alive, Blake Falcom waits on deck. Swing and a miss. Good Pellin slider. Second strikeout for Tyler Pellin, and Cedar Rapids done in the 6th inning. Kernels come up with 3 runs on 4 hits. No Dragon errors. Cedar Rapids strands the runner. We're through 6 innings, 11-1 Kernels on 1410 ESPN Radio.
Whether it's totally free checking with no monthly fees, Platinum One checking with premium interest, or free internet banking and bill pay, Fifth Third's got it. Or call 1-877-5795-353. Get the checking account you want from Fifth Third Bank. $50 minimum balance required to open an account. Customer purchase the check. Member FDIC.
When it comes to innovation, there are baby steps, there are big steps, and there are the steps of men who shop at big and tall stores. It's those steps that belong to Donato. First, they brought you no dough, a revolutionary way to eat pizza without the crust. But they didn't stop for a high five or an attaboy. With quiet conviction and brilliant gusto, they sought a way to enjoy Donato's oven-baked subs without the card. In search of something worthy of encapsulating only the freshest ingredients, they discovered a tortilla and its whole wheat. With that, the Donato's low-carb tortilla sub was born. It's loaded to the edges and warmed in the oven for a taste that'll warm your heart. The new Donato's tortilla sub in any great sub flavor. From the grilled chicken club to the steak and cheese, they're mouth-watering and they're melted.
1410 ESPN. Down to the seventh, a new pitcher on the hill for the Cedar Rapids Kernels. It is left-hander Scott Hinman, 6'4", 220 pounds. He is out of Inverness, Illinois. We'll give you some numbers on the southpaw. 0-0 strikes to Chris Krosky. That one missed outside. 2 balls and nothing. Hinman is on for his 13th appearance, no wins and a loss, a 7.62 earned run average in 13 innings of baseball. He's given up 13 hits, 12 runs, 11 of the runs earned. He has struck out 16, walked 21, so not a whole lot of control. Midwest League batting .255 against him. 3-0 pitch on the outside corner for a strike, now 3-1. Chris Krosky, Will Hudson, and Chris Dickerson in this inning for the Dragons. 3 balls, 1 strike, and a pitch coming home. Krosky fouls it back, now 3-2. 11-1. Cedar Rapids leading the Dragons in the top half of inning number 7. It has been all Kernels. Dayton got the 1-0 advantage. Chris Dickerson with an RBI single in the second inning. Since then, Cedar Rapids has scored 11 straight. Hot shot down to the shortstop. The opposite way, Rodriguez. A strong throw across the diamond. Chris Krosky retired. That's 1 gone. Dragons got the RBI from Dickerson in the top half of inning number 2. Had the 1-0 advantage, and the lead was very short-lived. Kernels with 4 runs in the second. A 2 RBI single for Nick Tipton. An RBI ground out from Quan Cosby. An RBI single from Howie Kendrick. It was a 4-1 advantage for Cedar Rapids. 4 more runs in the 4th inning, given up by Urson, the Dayton starter. A 2-run home run by Kendrick, a 2-run home run by Matt Brown. It was an 8-1 ball game. Tyler Cullen came on to finish the 4th as Damian Urson lasted 3 2/3 innings, giving up 9 hits. Hudson, a switch hitter, now batting right-handed against the left-hander Scott Hinman. Cedar Rapids with 3 runs off of Calland in the 6th inning. RBI double from Cosby, RBI single from Bobby Wilson, and RBI sacrifice fly from Sean Rodriguez. 11 runs, 14 hits, and an error for the Kernels. 1 run, 6 hits, and 1 error for the Dragons. 3 balls and a strike to Will Hudson. Fouled it back, now 3-2. Michelle Samar goes to 6 innings. He allows 6 hits. Strikes out 9, walks 2. Gives up 1 run and the run earned. And is in line to pick up the win. The payoff to Hudson. Swing and a miss, and he got him. Will down on strike, second out of the inning. First strikeout for Scott Hinman. Now the top of the order, and the Dragon center fielder Chris Dickerson.
to Dickerson, misses outside. And the count of ball and no strikes. Chris 2 out of 3, couple of base hits. Fastball catches on the outside corner to the left-hander, and the count evens at 1-1. Top half of the seventh inning, it's an 11-1 Kernels advantage over the Dayton Dragons. The ball and a strike to Chris Dickerson as he bats here with 2 down. Nobody on the pitch. The check swing, now 2-1. No action down in either bullpen. We'll check some scores in the bottom half of inning number 7. One other game of the Midwest League this afternoon. 2 balls, 2 strikes. The breaking ball, swing and a miss by Dickerson. Count evens up. Fastball just does miss outside, and the count now full of 3-2. Full count, 3 balls, 2 strikes to Dickerson. Misses outside, that's ball 4. The walk given up by left-hander Hinman. Stabs at the baseball after it comes back from the catcher, Bobby Wilson. The Dickerson, the 2-on-3 pass, and Hinman continues to walk more than he strikes out on the season. And the one advantage that he has going for him right now, he is a left-handed pitcher, so he's going to get the benefit of the down for a little bit. But I tell you what, well, you keep walking more than you strike out, and unless you've got some Nolan Ryan type stuff, well, you're not going to be around very long. Left-handed or not, normally that's the free pass for at least a little bit of time if you're a lefty. Certainly a more valuable commodity than what a right-handed pitcher is. Or they're certainly going to be given more opportunity just based on the fact there's more right-handers than there are left-handers. But if you walk more than you strike out, regardless of what side you throw from, you're living on Votto's time. Bolivar follows it back out of play, and the count now a ball and 2 strikes. 1-2 on Luis Bolivar, the Dragons' second baseman. Luis has done his share this afternoon. He's 2 out of 3. Bolivar and Dickerson have got 4 of the Dragons' 6 hits. Chris down at first base right now after picking up the free pass and a 1-2. Swing and a miss. Bolivar down on strikes, and that will send us to the 7th inning stretch. We're through 6.5. All Cedar Rapids, it's an 11-1 Kernels lead on 1410 ESPN Radio.
You add, we subtract. Let's talk about wireless phone plans and what you're really getting for what you're paying. Because with Cincinnati Bell, you get truly unlimited wireless minutes to call anyone, anytime, anywhere in the U.S. for one flat monthly rate. Now that's something you can't get with Verizon or Singular. Plus, when you get a local home phone service, you can add our unlimited wireless plan for only $50 a month, or choose from one of our other great wireless plans. Either way, when you go with Cincinnati Bell Wireless, you get your wireless phone and activation free, but never have to deal with contracts or multiple bills. So go ahead, add unlimited talk and subtract unlimited cost. Add more conversation and subtract frustration. It's the one wireless plan that really works here in Dayton. So call, click, or come see us today. Cincinnati Bell. You add, we subtract. Just call 888-SIM-BELL. That's 888-TINBELL. Some assistance applies and social details.
From your very first breath to your very first step, we'll be here for you. Because at Kernels, we believe that exceptional health care is more than a Band-Aid when you fall. It's a lifetime commitment, a partnership for the long run. So from all your shining moments to the times life throws a few curves along the way, we'll be there. With the best medicine and the most advanced technology science can offer. But more important, with people who go to work every day with one goal in mind, to demonstrate what caring and healing are truly all about. Whether you're on the road to success or on the road to recovery, we'll be there to lead you back to a healthy life. You see, healthcare is different here.
Beyond beautiful facilities and equipment, more state-of-the-art than man has ever dreamed, is our simple promise to you. Quality health care for life. That's Charles F. Kettering Memorial Hospital. 1410 ESPN.
Bottom half of the seventh inning, and the Kernels all over the Dragons. It is an 11-1 at Cedar Rapids lead. 11 runs, 14 hits, and an error for the Kernels. The Dragons with a run, 6 hits, and 1 error. Tyler Pellin. The 1-0 pitch, pops up on the infield. Boulevard at second base. Blake Balcom flies out, pops out to the second baseman. 2 pitches and 1 down in the bottom half of inning number 7. That'll bring up Matt Abram, the first baseman. Matt Abram, the first baseman. Abram on the afternoon, he is 0 for 3. Only Kernel without a base hit. Abram, a fielder's choice, and a run scored in the second, grounded out to Boulevard at second base in the fourth. His last time up, flew out to right field. 14 hits on the afternoon, and Matt Abram, a lone Kernel without a base hit. Every Kernel, with the exception of Sean Rodriguez, has scored a run. Abram, another pop-up, another broken bat. Will Hunson back in shallow left center on the outfield grass. The Dragon shortstop makes the catch. Abram retired, 2 down. And unless the Kernels can bat around here in this inning or the 8th, more than likely, with an 11-1 Cedar Rapids advantage, Abram will not have another chance to swing in the 9th inning. There is action down in the Dragon bullpen. I think Carlos, is that Guevara or is that Alexander Farfan? I think that's Alexander Farfan starting to loosen down there, so we may see Alexander to pitch the 8th. 2 down, nobody on. Nick Kempton, the hitter. Another one popped up. Helen has pitched well, with the exception of that little stretch in the 6th. Which there were 3 consecutive hits. A couple of runs came home. A 1-2-3 inning. That's the first 1-2-3 frame of the day for a Dragons pitcher. We're through 7. 11-1 Kernels with the advantage on 1410 ESPN Radio.
You'll find everything you need to make this holiday weekend a memorable one at Kroger. Right now with your Kroger Plus card, family packs of Tyson Thin and Fancy, tenders, or skinless, boneless chicken breasts are buy one, get one free. A new crop of naturally sweet California cherries is in, and they're priced right at just $1.99 a pound. And all 24 packs of Pepsi are $4.88. Do your Memorial Day cookout the right way with Kroger. Right store, right price. You make me feel so young. You make home improvement so much fun. Hey, Davis here, and now with a Fifth Third Equity Flex line, you'll get a 3.74% introductory APR that adjusts to the prime rate after 3 months. Use the equity in your home and make your space big. Working hard to be the only bank you'll
BPNL, your energy partner for 90 years, knows you might have questions about the Ohio Electric Choice Program. If so, call us at 1-800-929-8646 for a free brochure. You've always relied on BPNL for energy information. Now we can help you learn about electric choice. 1410 ESPN. And the Dragons needed a whole bunch of runs. 11-1 Cedar Rapids all over Dayton this afternoon. 11 runs, 14 hits, and an error for the Kernels. 1 run, 6 hits, and 1 error for the Dragons. And this inning, Joey Votto, Ryan Fry, Ben Hines against the left-hander, Scott Hindman. Pitch going home to Votto.
Fastball that missed inside. 11 runs and 16 hits for West Michigan. That was on opening day, April 8th, and I'm not sure that the Dragons have given up more than that. The fastball missed inside. Now 2 balls, no strikes. The 11 runs obviously would tie that mark. Well, actually, the 14 runs against South Bend back on Mother's Day. Ground ball to the second baseman. Howie Kendrick, the sidearm to first, and Votto retired, 1 gone. Covering up Ryan Fry. Fort Wayne in a ball game on April 26th at Fifth Third Field. Got 11 runs on 14 hits. Lansing scored 11 against the Dragons on April 29th. Season highs in both categories. That South Bend game, the Dragons ended up winning it by the score of 17-14. 14 runs, 19 hits by South Bend on that particular game. And this would be the 5th time the Dragons have given up 10 runs or more. Ryan Fry off the end of the bat out into left center field. Hit it well, but the wrong part of the ballpark, right in front of the 407 sign. Out in deep left center, Nick Kimpton there to track it down. Second out of the inning, 2 gone, and that'll leave things up to Ben Heim. Attendance this afternoon, 3,433. That is the largest crowd this season for the Cedar Rapids Ball Club. Fastball to Hines. Caught the outside corner, a little bit downstairs. And the count of ball and no strikes. 11-1, Cedar Rapids. Dragons batting here with 2 down, top of the 8th. Hines takes a cut of the fastball. Got a piece and fouled it back into the mitt of the catcher. And the count evens up with a ball and a strike. 11-14 and 1 for the Kernels, 1-6 and 1 for the Dragons. Hines today 0 for 3. Couple of strikeouts and a ground ball on a bunt attempt fielded by starter Michelle Samar. The starter for the Kernels, 6 innings, 6 hits, 9 strikeouts, 2 walks. He gave up a run. The run was earned. 2 balls, 1 strike, fastball. Missed in tight, now 3-1. That one nearly got a piece of the Dragon right fielder. 3-1 to Hines. If Ben Hines can keep the inning alive, Kyle Smith waits on deck. He would bat next. The 3-1 coming home. Pulled foul. That'll get down the line in right field. And back at it goes the clubhouse guy from Cedar Rapids, Rhodey. Fans will clamor and fans will ask him for it, and he will ignore them and just jog back to the dugout, and that's another one going in the BP collection. 3-2 pitch missed outside, ball 4. The 2-out walk, that is the 4th free pass issued by Kernel pitching this afternoon, 2 by Samar in 6 innings. And 2 by Hindeman in an inning and 2/3. So 2 down, Kyle Smith the hitter. Fastball missed outside, the count of ball and no strike. 11-1 Kernels. Dayton batting here in the top half of inning number 8. I think I promised a while back we passed along some Midwest League scores. One other game going on right now besides ours here. And by now, that one may be just about wrapped up. 1-0 Quad Cities over Wisconsin. Adam Harbin over Nick Acosta. Julio DePaula with the save. Dusty Gomez with his 4th home run of the season. That was it. A home run in the bottom half of the second inning, and that is how all the scoring went. Swinging a miss by Smith in the count 2-2. Lloyd at Kane County at 7. West Michigan at Lansing at 7:05. 7:30 it's Battle Creek at South Bend. Couple of games at 8. Burlington at Peoria and Fort Wayne and Clinton. 2 balls, 2 strikes with 2 down. Pitch coming home to Smith. Smith inside 3-2. Well, not sure what happened to the Reds. They ended up getting beat 5-2. That's the final. Bottom of the 8th, Milwaukee over LA 3-1. 3-2 pitch misses upstairs, ball 4. So after getting the first 2 with relative ease, Scott Hinman now can't find the plate. And there is action down in the Cedar Rapids bullpen. And I tell you what, nothing is going to frustrate you more as a manager. You've got an 11-1 lead. You bring the guy in out of the bullpen. Just tell him throw strikes, get your game going here, get you some innings. All you have to do is throw strikes. You're up by 10 runs. If they hit the ball, they hit the ball, but just throw strikes. And Hinman having a heck of a time right now finding the plate. Bottom of the 8th inning, Milwaukee over LA 2-1. St. Louis leading Pittsburgh 6-3 in the bottom of the 6th. No score. San Diego and Colorado top of the 1st. Final. Florida over Cincinnati 5-2. 7:05 it's Atlanta at Philadelphia. Arizona's at San Francisco. That's at 10:15. 2 games in the American League. 4-0 Detroit over Kansas City. Bottom of the 4th inning. Top of the 4th it's Minnesota 4, Tampa 2. The 1-0. Outside corner to Jeremiah Pipcorn. Pipcorn had a home run in the 6th inning that was called a foul ball. Ended up striking out in the at-bat. So Pipcorn 1 out of 3. 1-1 coming home. Tried to check. Could not hold off on the count now 1-2. Elsewhere, these games all start at 7:05. Yankees at Baltimore, Oakland at Boston, Seattle at Cleveland, Anaheim at Toronto. 8:05 it's Texas at the White Sox. Milwaukee at LA in the NBA, that's at 9 o'clock. You're now caught up. Pipcorn grounds it foul, wide of Max Venable. Coaching down at third base, Alonzo Powell. Dragon manager thrown out, arguing that home run call. Was not only arguing that home run call, but was arguing the call back in Clinton, Iowa, when Dickerson had a home run off the wall in right center. The second wall, the back wall, that was called in play and was eventually scored a double. Pipcorn golfs at it, comes up empty, and we go to the bottom of the 8th inning. Dragons strand 2. We're through 7.5, 11-1 Kernels on 1410 ESPN Radio.
Garage doors and electric garage door openers. We must be talking about Dayton Door Sales. Dayton Door Sales has been installing and servicing garage doors and openers for over 42 years. It's where you find the leading brand in garage doors, the overhead door brand. Look for that red ribbon in the yellow pages and you know you have the original and the best. Dayton Door Sales and overhead door. But their expertise doesn't stop there. Dayton Door Sales installs entry doors, patio doors, storm doors, and replacement windows as well. Yes, Dayton Door Sales has quietly become a leader in vinyl replacement windows. The same philosophies apply that have made them true leaders in the garage door business. It's about quality. It's about experience. It's about professionalism and integrity. Call or visit Dayton Door Sales today or one of its affiliates. Overhead Door Company of Springfield, Overhead Door Company of Troy Piqua, or Overhead Door Company of Middletown Springboro. Remember, look for that red ribbon in the yellow pages and you know you have the original and the best. Dayton Door Sales and Overhead Door.
Moss Village Cadillac, the only Cadillac dealership in the Dayton area to win both the Platinum Award and Masters Dealer Award for customer satisfaction and sales and service, has a great selection of Cadillacs to choose from, including the all-new SRX SUV and the XLR convertible. It's an experience in driving and design that you cannot let pass you by. Or if a certified pre-owned Cadillac is what you're looking for, then check out the great selection of certified pre-owned Cadillacs, all with extensive benefits, such as the 6-year, 100,000-mile warranty that starts from the original date of service. Rock Village Cadillac offers great service, convenient locations, as well as convenient hours. Only Boss offers you the best price, best value guarantee. Boss Village Cadillac, conveniently located on State Route 725, just 5 minutes east of the Dayton Mall. Visit them in person or check them out on the web at bossauto.com. 1410 ESPN.
Pitcher for the Dragons, Alexander Farfan, 6'3", 215 pounds, out of Maracay, Venezuela. Pitched last season with the Dragons, has been here all season as well. We'll give you some numbers on the hard-throwing right-hander. 11th appearance, no wins, 5 losses, a 6.49 earned run average. In 34 and 2/3 innings, he has given up 39 hits, 28 strikeouts, 18 walks. Alex has served out 3 home runs, given up 30 runs, 25 of the runs during the Midwest League, batting .281 against him. This inning, Quan Cosby, Howie Kendrick, and Bobby Wilson. Cosby, a switch hitter. In fact, is swinging it from the left side. The 1-1, pulled foul. Wide of the bag at first base. 11 runs, 14 hits, and an error for the Kernels. A run, 6 hits, and an error for the Dragons. Bottom half of inning number 8. All Cedar Rapids, it is an 11-1. Kernels lead over the Dragons. Cedar Rapids with 4 runs in the second, 4 runs in the fourth, and 3 runs in the sixth. The Dragons' lone run, the top half of inning number 2. Sent down the line at first base in foul ground. Votto's got to battle the bullpen, and he'll give way to Luis Bolivar. Tough catch for the Dragons' second baseman. Luis rolling along, it's flat, and then all of a sudden he's got that geography change as the topography got a little steep, had to run up the side of the bullpen pitching mound. Nice job by the Dragons' second baseman in foul territory. Makes the catch and 1 down in the inning. Howie Kendrick, who's had a big day. Numbers on Tyler Pellin. Pellin this afternoon goes 2 1/3. Allows 5 hits. Strikes out 2, walks 1. Pellin gives up 3 runs, all of the runs earned. And he'll 1 fastball that missed upstairs. Fastball missed up high, now 2 balls into strike. Dragons tomorrow are in Fort Wayne, open up a 4-game series to complete the longest road trip of the season, or at least the start of it. Fastball outside corner. Count evens at 2 balls, 2 strikes. We're in the bottom half of the 8th inning. 14 hits on the day for Cedar Rapids. The Dragons with 6. The scoreboard one-sided as well. Cedar Rapids 11 and Dayton 1. Dragons in the 9th will send up Chris Crafty, Will Hudson, and Luis Bolivar. Last chance. There is action down in the Cedar Rapids bullpen. Jesse Smith, the right-hander out of Lincoln, Nebraska, still throwing. Ground ball to the shortstop. Hudson will field it, throws from near the bag at second base. Kendrick retired. Second out of the inning, the 2 gone. And that will bring up the catcher, Bobby Wilson. Bobby Wilson on the day, 3 out of 4. He has scored a run, he has driven home a run. Bats with 2 down, nobody on. Pitch from Farfan. Fastball at 91, misses outside. And the count of ball and no strikes. Wilson with 3 home runs and 25 runs batted in. Farfan works out of the stretch, the 1-0 pitch, good changeup. Wilson jumping out of the side. Count evens at 1-1. Kernels stay home. This is a 12-game homestand for them, their longest of the season. And I want to say that the Dragons are the only team that are swinging a miss with a slider at a ball at a strike. Wilson shaking his head there. I want to say that the Dragons are the only team or one of the few teams that don't have a 12-game homestand. The Dragons have a 12-day road trip, also a 10-day road trip, but the longest homestand of the season is 8. And went down to the dirt. Count evens up 2 balls, 2 strikes. Dragons will send up 8, 9, and 1 in their half of the 9th inning. And the 2-2 coming home. Wilson pitches, comes up empty. Krofsky will clean it up down at first base. The strikeout goes 2-3. And we head to the 9th. A 1-2-3 8th inning. Nice job by Parpin. 11-1 Kernels on 1410 ESPN Radio.
Everything you need to make this holiday weekend a memorable one at Kroger. Right now with your Kroger Plus card, family packs of Tyson Thin and Fancy, tender or skinless boneless chicken breasts are buy one, get one free. The new crop of naturally sweet California cherries is in, and they're priced right at just $1.99 a pound. And all 24 packs of Pepsi are $4.88. Do your Memorial Day cookout the right way with Kroger. Right store, right price. Working hard! They say that here in home improvement is hard work, so make sure you have the right tool for the job. With a Fixed Equity Plus Fund, you'll get a 1.99% adjusted APR, adjusted prime rate after 3 months. Use it and spice up your day. Working hard to be the only bank you'll ever need. LTD, rate may vary and index with the prime rate on the last 30 days of the month and Wall Street Insurance. Tax and APR will not exceed 25% of the rate you're receiving with every class. $65 annual fee rate for 1 minute before housing under
Boss Honda is the only Honda dealership in Ohio to win the prestigious President's Award for excellence in sales and service for the last 5 straight years in a row. And now Boss Honda is celebrating with a great selection and offers on all of our new in-stock units. Or check out the great selection of certified pre-owned Hondas. All prices are clearly marked, and most are priced below Kelly Blue Book. Hurry in now to Boss Honda, where the difference is award-winning in both sales and service. I-75 and State Route 571, Tip City, just minutes north of Dayton. 1410 ESPN.
Back at the ballpark, last chance for the Dragons. They need 10 to tie and 11 to take the lead. And 11-1, Cedar Rapids advantage. Chris Krofsky, Will Hudson, and in the top of the order, Chris Dickerson. New pitcher, Jesse Smith on the hill for Cedar Rapids. Smith out of Lincoln, Nebraska. He is a right-hander. 6'2", 210 pounds. Jesse Smith on for his 13th appearance. No wins, 2 losses, a 7.33 earned run average. 23 and a third innings of baseball. Smith has given up 27 hits, 25 runs, 19 of the runs earned. He has struck out 25, walked 15, Midwest League batting. 281 against him. And the first pitch from Smith, Krofsky, out into deep right center field. Cosby drifting back in front of the 403 sign on the warning track, and Krofsky retired. 1 pitch and 1 down in the top half of inning number 9. 11 runs, 14 hits, and an error for the Kernels. 1 run, 6 hits, and 1 error for the Dragons. Will Hudson back to swinging it from the left side. Switch hitter will turn it around and bat left-handed against the right-hander. This one fouled back off the screen. Final numbers on Scott Hinman. Hinman goes 2 innings. Does not allow a hit. He strikes out 3 and walks 3 and does not allow a run. No balls, 2 strikes to Will Hudson. Fastball that just did miss inside. Now 1-2 on the Dragon shortstop. Hudson on the day 0-for-3. Grounded out to second, pops up to his counterpart at short. And his last time up, struck out. Fastball missed away. The count evens at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Jesse Smith, the third Cedar Rapids pitcher to throw here this afternoon. 2 balls, 2 strikes. The right-hander set. Ground ball again, second baseman pulled down to Kendrick. He goes over to first base. Second out of the inning, the last chance for the Dayton Dragons will be left-hander Chris Dickerson. $11 runs, 14 hits, and an error for Cedar Rapids. The Dragons, 1 run, 6 hits, and 1 error. Dragons with 9 left on base so far this afternoon. The Kernels with 4. All in no strikes to Dickerson. Chris today 2 for 3 with an RBI. He has also drawn a walk. Bats with 2 down, nobody on. Fastball missed upstairs, now 2-0. Two balls, no strikes. The pitch to Dickerson. That one catches on the inside corner. Now 2-1 to the Dragon center fielder. Luis Bolivar waits on deck. He'll bat next. If the Dragons center fielder Dickerson can keep things alive. Ground ball to the shortstop. This should do it. 2 hops. Rodriguez's throw across the diamond, and that is your ball game. 2 hours and 30 minutes on the ball game, and that will take care of it. We'll take a timeout. Kernels won at 11-1. We'll come back and we will wrap things up for you after this. You're listening to Dragon Baseball on 1410 ESPN Radio.
DP&L, your energy partner for 90 years, knows you might have questions about the Ohio Electric Choice Program. If so, call us at 1-800-929-8646 for a free brochure. You've always relied on DP&L for energy information. Now we can help you learn about electric choice.
Oh, Frank, this election for president of beers is getting ugly.
Tell me about it.
They've got an out-of-work comedian running against a horse.
I know, it's a tough decision.
Tough?
Yeah, I like horses, and I like out-of-work comedians. I'm back and forth. You know, what kind of horse is it?
Frank, it's Budweiser. It's a Clydesdale.
Oh, that's good.
It's going to be a landslide. The Clydesdale is unbeatable.
Why's that?
Why? He looks more presidential than a comedian.
Well, that's true.
I mean, he's got that handsome look, the jawbone, he's cut, he's buff, he's got those shoes with the ankle warmers.
Yeah, he's got really nice ears, too.
Nice ears, and he smells better.
Oh, yeah.
Did you see that debate?
Yeah, I didn't understand it.
The horse doesn't say a word, and he comes off smarter than the comedian.
Sometimes it's knowing what not to say.
I mean, who would you rather have for president? An irritating comedian or a majestic Clydesdale who is symbolic of warm holiday fun?
I'll take the horse.
Hello, in a choice between a horse and a guy who's only part of a horse?
Right.
Give me the horse any day.
Anheuser-Busch, St. Louis, Missouri.
1410 ESPN.
Back at the ballpark, all Cedar Rapids this afternoon, 11-1, 11 runs, 14 hits, and an error for the Kernels with 4 left on base. The Dragons, 1 run, 6 hits, 1 error. They strand 9. Michelle Simiarm, the winning pitcher, he is now 4-2. Dickerson takes the loss for the Dragons. His mark 0-1. 2 hours, 30 minutes, the time of the ball game, and 3,433 at the ballpark to see it. We'll take a timeout. Post-game show comes your way next. You're listening to Dragon Baseball on 1410 ESPN Radio.
Come into Voss Village BMW today and see our great selection of new and pre-owned BMWs. Now owning a certified pre-owned BMW is easier than ever before at Voss Village BMW with extensive benefits such as the 100,000-mile factory protection plan. Voss Village BMW offers great service, convenient locations, as well as convenient hours to help serve you better. Only Voss offers you the best price, best value guarantee. Voss Village BMW, conveniently located on State Route 725, just 5 minutes east of the Dayton Mall. Stop by in person or visit them on the web at vossauto.com.
DP&L, your energy partner for 90 years, knows you might have questions about the Ohio Electric Choice Program. If so, call us at 1-800-929-8646 for a free brochure. You've always relied on DP&L for energy information. Now we can help you learn about electric choice.
Everything you need to make this holiday weekend a memorable one at Kroger. Right now with your Kroger Plus card, family packs of Tyson Thin and Fancy, tender or skinless boneless chicken breasts are buy one, get one free. The new crop of naturally sweet California cherries is in, and they're priced right at just $1.99 a pound. And all 24 packs of Pepsi are $4.88. Do your Memorial Day cookout the right way with Kroger. Right store, right price.
1410 ESPN. You've been listening to Dayton Dragons Baseball on 1410 ESPN Radio, WYNZ AM. A presentation of Mandalay Sports Entertainment and Dayton Dragons Baseball. Exclusive coverage of Dayton Dragons Baseball has been brought to you by 1410 ESPN Radio, WYNZ AM. Cincinnati Bell, Coca-Cola Enterprises of Dayton, the Dayton Daily News, Dayton Power and Light, Gemato's Pizza, the Third Bank, Heidelberg Distributing and Budweiser. Kettering Medical Center Network, Kroger Food Store, and Boss Auto Network. This broadcast has been an exclusive presentation of Mandalay Sports Entertainment and Dayton Dragons Baseball.
Join us this season for the Hometown Heroes celebration. Hometown Heroes is a season-long tribute to the men and women from Wright-Patterson Air Force Base and the Springfield Air National Guard Base who safeguard and support our nation's defense. More than that, we celebrate their ongoing contributions to the Dayton region's economy and quality of life that make living and working here so enjoyable. Along the way, we'll also include some fun surprises, so be sure to join us at the Dayton Dragons games and share in our Hometown Heroes celebration. This fun and important tribute to our area's military installations is brought to you by the Dayton Development Coalition, a partner in the regional effort to enhance business and community development. For more information about the Dayton Development Coalition, please visit our website at www.daytondevelopment.org.
What you call someone who year after year makes wishes come true? Someone who sponsors the Dayton Dragons simply because they understand the special bond that grows between parents and their children when they go to a game.
A wizard.
Someone who thinks that a perfectly good reason for supporting the Dayton Ballet is that little girls and boys dream of becoming ballet stars when they grow up.
Fairy godmother.
Someone who makes the city sing, from the City Folk Festival to the Schuster Performing Arts Center. Someone who wants to bring laughter and celebration to our riverfront at Riverscape. What you call someone who has been making the dreams of Dayton come alive for more than 30 years? LexisNexis. We're dedicated to making Dayton a wonderful place to work, play, and call home. LexisNexis, supporting the Dayton community for more than 30 years. 1410 ESPN. Mandalay Sports Entertainment and the Dayton Dragons present the Dragons Post-Game Show. A look back at today's Dragons Day with analysis and an update of both the Midwest League and Major League scoreboard. Let's head back to the stadium and the voice of the Dayton Dragons, Mike Vanderwood.
Welcome back to Veterans Memorial Stadium. Cedar Rapids all over the Dragons this afternoon by the score of 11-1. 11 runs, 14 hits, and an error for the Kernels with 4 left on base. The Dragons, 1 run, 6 hits, 1 error. They strand 9. Michel Samar, the winning pitcher, he is now 4-2 on the season. Damian Dirt Urson takes the losses, mark 0-1. 2.5 hours the time of the ball game, and 3,433 at the ballpark to see it. Dragons got on the board in the top half of the second inning off of starter Michel Samar. A one-out single from Jeremiah Pipcorn. Solid base hit for the newcomer out in the left center field. He went to second base at a Chris Krosky walk. Both moved up 90 feet when Will Hudson grounded out to the second baseman Howie Kendrick. Chris Dickerson, a swinging bunt up the third base line. RBI single for the Dragon center fielder, his 11th of the season. Dayton had the 1-0 advantage. The lead would not last very long. Bottom half of the second inning, Dirt Earthen led off the inning with a walk to Sean Rodriguez. Luis Bolivar put runners at first and second. A base hit from Blake Ballcount loaded him up. Ground ball from Matt Abrams to the third baseman, Pipcorn. That forced Rodriguez at home. Bases were still loaded with one down. Nick Kimpton whipped a double into the right field corner. That scored Mayer. That scored Malcolm. That was a 2-1 Cedar Rapids advantage. It became 3-1 Cron Cosby with a ground out that scored Abrams. And it became a 4-1 ball game when Howie Kendrick got home Kimpton with an RBI single. First of 3 RBI on the day for Howie Kendrick. 4-1 going to the bottom of the fourth inning. A 2-run home run for Kendrick, a 2-run home run for Matt Brown, and all of a sudden an 8-1 ball game. Damian Earthen for the Dragons, 3 2/3 innings, 9 hits, 2 strikeouts, 2 walks. He gave up 8 runs, 5 of the runs earned. Tyler Pellin came into the ball game. Pellin set down the Kernels in the 5th inning. In the 6th inning, ran into a little bit of difficulty, gave up 3 runs, an RBI double for Cosby, his second of the day. Bobby Wilson picked up an RBI, his first, and an RBI and a sacrifice fly from Sean Rodriguez. At that point, it was an 11-1 ball game, but essentially that's how it ended. Dragons didn't get a whole lot of offense generated in the last few innings. Last hit the Dragons picked up, Dickerson got his second hit of the day in the 5th. And after that, 3 walks allowed by the bullpen by Scott Hindeman, but that was all that Cedar Rapids would allow. And the Kernels rolled to an 11-1 win. Cedar Rapids now 27-19 with the victory. The Dragons dropped to 19-28 with the loss. Dayton now 4-4 through 8 games of this 12-game road trip. We'll take a timeout. We'll come back and check scores. You're listening to the postgame show on 1410 ESPN Radio.
And now, here's something from Coors Light for everybody out there who loves summer.
I love working on my tan. That girl from the taco stand. Lots of long weekends and swim. I love red, white, and blue. Check out all these tears. Come on, don't love me. And swim. And
Yeah, have yourself a long, hot summer and a nice cold Coors Light. Coors Light. Cold, down, easy. Rock on. Coors Brewing Company, Golden, Colorado.
Next time you buy beer, pick up some Coors Light and taste the cold, crisp, refreshing difference.
Your new home is one of the biggest investments you will ever make. Whether building your first home or a home for your growing family, protecting your investment is not just about the cosmetic appearance, but the structural integrity of the home itself. There are options your builder offers for waterproofing your new home. Keep the water out of your basement with the manufacturer's warranted waterproofing product. Marflex Waterproofing and Basement Products is your complete source for waterproofing your basement foundation. Call Marflex today at 1-800-498-1411. That's 1-800-498-1411.
Using the 3.5 minutes it takes to prepare a bowl of intensely cheesy Kraft Easy Mac, Pete prepares for his vocabulary quiz. As the bowl pirouettes on the microwave turntable, Pete thinks of its copious cheesy taste and longs profusely for its rich palatability. On the verge of famishment, Pete now watches the microwave chronometer with marked fervor. Kraft Easy Mac, big cheesy taste, 3.5 minutes of me time. Snack the Mac. 1410 ESPN.
The ballpark, Cedar Rapids this afternoon, all over the Dayton Dragons by an 11-1 final score. Kernels take 3 out of 4 in the series. Dragons on the road trip still at 500. They won 3 out of 4 in Burlington. They dropped 3 out of 4 here, so back to even 500 through 8 games. This day in baseball history, before we check the scoreboard, May 27th, 1968, 36 years ago today, Montreal and San Diego awarded National League franchises. And insert your own Montreal Expo joke here. Okay, let's take a look at the Major League scoreboard first. A couple of finals from the National League. Marlins over the Reds 5-2. Milwaukee 3, LA 1. That's the final. Top of the 8th inning. St. Louis doubling up Pittsburgh. That's a 6-3 ball game. San Diego leading Colorado 1-0 then in the bottom half of the second. 2 games start later on. Atlanta's at Philly. That's at 7:05. Arizona at San Francisco at 10:15. In the junior circuit, bunch of games start later on. 4 of them at 7:05. Yankees at Baltimore. Oakland at Boston. Seattle at Cleveland. Anaheim at Toronto. At 8:05, it is Texas at the Chicago White Sox. 2 games in progress. Detroit over Kansas City, 7-2. That's in the top half of the 5th. Tampa's come back from a 2-run deficit. They now lead Minnesota 5-4. That one in the bottom half of the 6th inning. And at 9 o'clock tonight, you've got Minnesota at the LA Lakers. That is Game 4 of the National Championship, the NBA Western Division Championship. Game number 2 of the Stanley Cup playoffs. It's Calgary at Tampa. That one gets underway at 8 p.m. We'll take a timeout. We'll wrap this one up. We'll let you know about the ball game tomorrow from Fort Wayne. 11-1 Kernels over the Dragons. You're listening to the post-game show on 1410 ESPN Radio.
The word value gets tossed around so much in advertising, it's sort of become devalued. So let's get back to the essential meaning of the word. Value means getting more for your money, which brings me to the Shell MasterCard from City Cards, the card that adds value by lowering the cost of driving without lowering the quality of fuel. When you buy Shell gasoline with the Shell MasterCard from City Cards, you'll get a 5% rebate. That's 7 cents per gallon at $1.40 per gallon. When you buy anything else with the card, you get a 1% rebate. Now, if that's not the definition of value, I don't know what is. You earn Shell gasoline rebates with every purchase. And since your time is valuable too, applying for the card is easy. To apply for the Shell MasterCard from City Cards, stop by your local Shell station for details. Or call 1-877-MY-SHELL. That's 1-877-MY-SHELL.
Hi, everybody. We're the Clean Team. The Clean Team from Clean Team Express Car Wash.
LB Road in Moraine, off West Dorothy Lane behind McDonald's. And now open on the corner of Wood and Wilmington in Centerville.
And with our state-of-the-art equipment, we can get what you drive on a Clean Team scene.
No matter what spring and summer weather bring, all you do is stay in your vehicle and enjoy the ride through our state-of-the-art equipment, while the Clean Team safely takes the dirt and grime off your car's finish. How? The Clean Team at Clean Team Express Car Wash uses foam applicators instead of brushes.
The Clean Team strikes again.
Let our state-of-the-art equipment keep what you drive looking like new all through spring and summer.
At Clean Team Express Car Wash.
LB Road in Moraine, off West Dorothy Lane behind McDonald's. And now open on the corner of Wood and Wilmington in Centerville. Summertime savings, a deluxe car wash only $10, the extra car wash only $8, or the basic car wash for only $6. Take advantage of these special prices now at Clean Team Express.
1410 ESPN.
And a little bit ahead of myself, let's take a look at some Midwest League numbers before we wrap everything up. One other game that was a matinee today in the Midwest League. Quad Cities over Wisconsin 1-0. That is the final. Our final here, Cedar Rapids 11, and the Dragons won. And a bunch of games that get underway tonight. Beloit at Kane County at 7 o'clock. West Michigan at Lansing. That's at 7:05. Battle Creek is at South Bend. That's at 7:30. Burlington and Peoria, Fort Wayne at Clinton. Both of those games start at 8 o'clock. Okay, now we will take our final timeout. We'll come back. We'll wrap this one up and let you know about the ball game tomorrow night. The first game against the Fort Wayne Lizards. The 4-game series that will wrap up this 12-game, 12-day trip. Stay tuned. The post-game show continues. You're listening to Dragon Baseball on 1410 ESPN Radio.
And now, here's something from Coors Light for everybody out there who loves summer.
I love working on my tan. That girl from the taco stand. Lots of long weekends and swim. I love the red, white, and blue. Back up on the ears. Come on, some love, deep.
Yeah, have yourself a long, hot summer and a nice cold Coors Light.
Coors Light. Cold, down, easy. Rock on. Coors Brewing Company, Golden, Colorado.
Next time you buy beer, pick up some Coors Light and taste the cold, crisp, refreshing difference. This Memorial Day, come to Lowe's and get your summer project started with great value. Why not build a patio? Now, a 60-pound bag of Quick Treat cement mix is only $1.85. Or tile your floors with beautiful Palmetto bone ceramic tiles, just 78 cents per tile. And now, there's no better time to paint your home. Save $5 on every gallon of Olympic Premium interior and exterior paint with mail-in rebate. Or fix your roof. Because now, when you spend $350 or more on Owen Corning shingles, you'll get a $50 gift card free with mail-in form. Put it all on your Lowe's card and ask for 0 payments and interest for 12 months on all purchases store-wide of $2.99 or more. And now, all military personnel and their families get 10% off everything in the store. So come to Lowe's today for great values that hit home. Lowe's, improving home improvement. See store for details. Must visit quick commerce purchase to receive credit offer. Credit offer ends 5/31. Olympic limit 5 gallons. Offer ends 5/31. Quick free prices vary in Alaska and Hawaii. Offer ends 5/31. Single offer expires 7/3. Must have valid military ID for discount. Offer ends 5/31. Send the purchases up to $2,000. 1410 ESPN.
Score, Cedar Rapids all over the Dragons this afternoon, 11-1. Dayton now 19-28. The Kernels 27-19. 11 runs, 14 hits, an error, 4 left on base for the Kernels. For the Dragons, 1 run, 6 hits, 1 error. They strand 9. Michelle Samar, the winning pitcher, he is 4-2. Dickerson with the losses marked 0-1. 2 hours, 30 minutes the time of the ball game, 3,433 at the ballpark to see it. Dragons continue the road trip tomorrow night. We are in Fort Wayne to take on the Fort Wayne Wizards. A 7 o'clock start. Kelvin Medlock for the Dragons. Dirk Hayhurst down the hill for Fort Wayne. A couple of right-handers going at it. 6:30 pregame show, 7 o'clock first pitch. Hopefully, the Dragons will have some better results, and we hope that you tune in and join us from Fort Wayne's Memorial Stadium. My thanks this afternoon to Tommy Johnson back in the Dragon Baseball Studios. For Tommy, this is Mike Vander with your final score. Cedar Rapids 11, Dayton 1. I'll talk to you tomorrow night. 6:30 pregame show, 7 o'clock first pitch. On the other side of this, Dan Patrick. You're listening to 1410 ESPN Radio. Have a great night, everybody.